Iron like John Davis was 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It is here. NFL Draft Day tonight. First round. Arkansas has not had a first-round selection since the one you just heard, Frank Ragnow, a few years back. Treylon Burks has a great chance, a great opportunity to be that for Arkansas football tonight. I hope he is. Hopefully, he's a Green Bay Packer by the end of the night. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to have that for you right here on ESPN Arkansas for you, which I know a lot of you will be listening to and excited about. Heather Dinage, ESPN.com, has Arkansas football this season as a college football playoff sleeper. Now, you'd love that to be the case. We'll dive into actually if that's possible or not this morning. Davis Mattek's going to be joining us to talk a little NFL draft at 6:30. Tom Murphy at 7:20. Richard Davenport at 8. Clay Henry's going to join us in just a sec. Becca and Sarah's dad, as he wants to be referred to from now on. But this morning, we are brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina, which is a great place to watch the NFL draft. Now, always you're going to get half-price apps and taps during the Arkansas Razorback games. Football, basketball, baseball. As long as they're on television, you're going to get half-price apps and taps. Not to mention the happy hour specials that they have. They have daily specials each and every day. So whether it's watching Hog games or the NFL draft tonight, stop by Joe's Grill and Cantina. You can call them at 478-9600 or stop by at 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Clay now joins us, Becca and Sarah's dad. Clay, I think a lot more fans are going to watch the NFL draft tonight specifically because of Treylon Burks. What do you think?
Well, it's going to, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm excited for Treylon and for the Razorbacks, and I think it's and really I think where I'm really excited is the town of Warren. When you're thinking about a small town, that he's as big a hero as you could have in a town like that, because he's just been he's done everything right. He's a product of a great Arkansas high school program. He's been he burst on the scene as a ninth grader and just was a do-it-all. You knew he was a star, and then he handled himself in such a humble way that the town just like, man, he's us. He's our guy. And if you've ever been to Warren or talked to anybody from Warren, they're going to mention Treylon and how proud they are of him. And it's not like somebody's from Little Rock. It doesn't have the same feel or vibe, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just because it's a smaller town. And what I've heard you say several times, and others as well, is you never heard about an off-the-field incident or an issue with him. And that, I think, even helps his cause, not just as an NFL player, but as a role model with not just the young kids of Warren, but the Arkansas fans across the state, Clay.
You've grown up in rural Arkansas. You know about poachers and people hunting and taking game in places they shouldn't. You need to get written permission to hunt on their land. I think Treylon's probably got a stack of letters about a foot high of people saying, "Come hunt out here, come fish in my pond." That's like a badge of honor that Treylon fished here, in that area of the state. And I just think it's a neat story, and I think he's going to do really well. I know that there are some teams that say, well, we don't know about this. He's got a wart because, maybe he didn't do this cone drill right or something. But I tell you, all you got to do is put that film on of that Alabama game, and I bet that gets shown tonight.
I would think that highlight, and not just highlights, is going to be played. And Clay, you talk about fish. He was actually fishing yesterday, which is no surprise. For those who don't know, he's staying home because of his grandmother, so he's not going to be in Vegas like several other NFL prospects are going to be tonight. Yeah, he's a low-key guy, Clay.
Yeah. Well, I think, like you say, we're all excited, and there's the flip side to this, and I spent time with Kendall Briles this week to do the position by position or player by player analysis that I always have done for Hogs Illustrated. I did it one more time. I spent time with both Barry Odom and Kendall Briles. Kendall would, I said, okay, let's do big picture. What's the thing that's just hanging over this team, this offense about next year? He just kind of smiled. He goes, it's pretty simple, Clay. It's how we're going to replace Treylon Burks. And so that's kind of going to be going through our mind as we watch this the whole time. Is like, yeah, we're excited for the NFL, but it's woe is me. We don't have him anymore. And it's kind of the thing for Arkansas football. How do you replace that kind of a talent?
And when you look at different articles or analysts talking about this football team, and they say a lot of good things. They talk about KJ Jefferson. They talk about the continuity of the coaching staff. They talk about the additions in the portal, but they come back to that specific point, Clay, over and over.
Yeah, and so what's the answer? Well, there isn't one guy that can do it. It's going to have to be by committee. And, a star may develop. It may be that it's those running backs. It may be that it's, a little bit of Trey Knox. It may be that it's Malik Hornsby, that he's an X factor because he's giving you something that you didn't have, which is a guy that can, run the ball at quarterback, run and throw on the move, play a little wide receiver, jet sweep. He's the speed guy, but can he do all the things that Treylon did, which is, press coverage, knock the guy off of him, run down the field, and it's 80 like it did against Texas A&M. That play was as big as anything that happened last year. And is there a guy that can give you that play against an elite cornerback that takes the top off the defense? KJ's going to hit him. And it might be Hornsby. It might be Rocket. It might be AJ. So that was Kendall Briles' answer anyway, not mine. I don't want to pretend like I'm speaking for him because that was exactly what he said.
I know we're looking forward to seeing the conversation on print of your talk with Briles and Odom as well. And Clay, looking forward to see where Treylon Burks ends up tonight too, man, as we continue on this morning.
You got it.
Oh, that's Clay Hayner. Clay, be safe driving to Fayetteville, man.
Okay, thanks, Ty.
All right, good stuff from Becca and Sarah's dad. Are you going to be able to continuously remember to say that?
It's going to take me a minute, but eventually it'll sink in.
Becca and Sarah's dad. That is the title that Clay wants to be known from now on. I think that I'll be called Brad's son at some point. I think Dad would like that. And this morning we are brought to you by The Fence Man, a company that you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. Now, Tommy can tell you this because his fence was built by Sean and his team. The whole process was easy, quick, and here's the biggest part, affordable. They have 18-month same as cash financing with The Fence Man. So if you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. I was thinking about Arkansas football scenarios last night. I want to run one by you next.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through Him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Have you received damage from the recent hailstorm? Call Freedom Roofing today. They are locally owned, licensed, and insured, dependable roofing company that will be here after the storm. Residential or commercial, they will be there step by step through the insurance process. Contact Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today for an estimate on all roofing services. Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Freedom Roofing.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while, or if you haven't had the best of experiences with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. Give her a call at 494-7600. They'll take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today. 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
The trucks are here. It's the huge grand opening sale at Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center. For 3 days only, you can get the best pricing ever on all in-stock vinyl plank flooring. We're talking truckloads. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, April the 28th through the 30th. It's a no-wait, take-it-home-today kind of sale. With special pricing those 3 days only. Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center, your source for all your flooring needs. On the corner of South Y and Wheeler Avenue, 479-289-7111, or check them out on Facebook.
Did your vehicle receive hail damage during the last storm? Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is here to help. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all things dent repair and more. With over 30 years experience, Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is locally owned and a name you can trust. You have the right to choose who repairs your vehicle, so ask for the best. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, a name you can trust.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one handpicked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have, Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Mattek Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Mattek Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Wiggins deals 0-2, swing and a miss, struck him out. And Morgan kicks at the bat, looks back out to the field. 4 strikeouts straight for Jackson Wiggins.
Razorback football is coming. Catch updates from Sam Pittman, KJ Jefferson, and others right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
I want to lay out a crazy college football scenario for Arkansas coming up in just a sec. Davis Mattek of Sports Grid is going to join us to talk NFL draft. We've got some other headlines that we're going to get into as well, some NCAA changes. And on that subject, we will talk about that later on. This morning, we are brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shad, the #1 volume lure out of 20 fishing brands. They make them by the millions right here in Arkansas. And without a doubt, it's the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the United States. You can fish it on a light jig head or underneath the float, and you're going to find it productive as live bait. It's available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LearnNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. Now, this is a scenario. This is a possibility. It's not a probability. But I was thinking about this last night, and it got a good feedback on social media. So, I think you learn different things from different sports radio hosts and different people you listen to over the years, nationally, locally, doesn't matter. And what I try to do on a daily basis is not be a homer and not be negative all the time, be kind of somewhere in the middle. This is more on the homerish side, so I'm just giving a little preview of that. And I don't want
You're putting your Razorback glasses on.
Just to this.
Blinders are up.
The Garth Brooks concert, which many of you attended, was incredible, or you heard about it from a family member, a friend, a coworker, whatever it may be. Awesome atmosphere. I was thinking about the Texas game last year, the Kentucky and Auburn games last year, and I guess those would be kind of the 4 biggest events on campus in the last year or so. I would say if I'm missing one, y'all help me out. Y'all could say there's something else. Again, just let me know. What would Arkansas look like if you beat Cincinnati, South Carolina, Missouri State, and Texas A&M? You're going to be probably preseason top 20. I think with those 4 wins, you'll be well within the top 10, and you might even sneak into the top 5, maybe top 7-ish, okay?
So basically be exactly where you were last year at number 7 going into Georgia.
I think you're 8, but yes.
Okay.
You got your butt kicked in Athens. That was a great trip until the actual conclusion of the game. Think about Bryce Young coming in as the Heisman Trophy winner from last year. I know that you've hosted Heisman Trophy winners before. Probably the best win against a Heisman Trophy winner is when you beat Andre Ware. Not we, but I would say Quinn Grovey had a pretty big hand in that. That's a game that will be ever etched in his memory. College game day. I don't know if you know this. The longest drought in the SEC is Fayetteville, Arkansas. They've been to Kentucky. They've been to Vanderbilt. They've been to every other school since 2006 when you beat Tennessee except for Fayetteville. CBS double flexes that game. They put that game at night. They say, you know what? We want this game to be at night. They picked it right last year with A&M and Alabama. A&M got the upset. No one thought they would. I want to say they were a 20-some-odd point underdog.
Something like that because it's against Bama. Yeah, and that's normally what a spread looks like.
It was insane, but it was at home too, and it was insane. And yet they still found a way. Seth Small, their kicker, Zach Calzada, their quarterback, found a way to get it done. Another stripe out. What would that look like relative to the Texas game, the Kentucky and Auburn games, the Garth Brooks concert?
With and again, everything that you're just putting out there right now.
Laid it out.
Talking top 10 nationally ranked against
Might
probably
be top 5.
number 1, number 2 in the country against Alabama.
Let's say they're number 1.
More than likely, they will be number 1. College game day atmosphere coming in. That's an event all on its own before you even get to the game that night. I say you're somewhere between. I say you're about at Texas. I was going to say over Texas, below Garth Brooks, just because, I mean, that was a complete sellout and, standing room only and everything else like that. But I say you have at least the same crowd as Texas. And mainly because that's Texas. I mean, obviously, you don't have to live here long, and I haven't, to truly understand and realize how strong of a hatred it is for those people in that state.
It's like Malachi Singleton told us yesterday. He thought it was just an Oklahoma thing. No, Malachi. It's not just an Oklahoma thing, buddy. It's much more than that.
So I'm going to say you get a sellout. Now, will it be a 100% true sellout? Maybe, maybe not. But it's going to be, especially if you're able to pull off the upset against Alabama, get to that 5-0 mark, it's going to be a night that nobody's going to forget.
What is the percentage on that actually happen? You're going to have to go through Luke Fickell in Cincinnati, Spencer Rattler, Shane Beamer in South Carolina. I'm not really worried about Bobby Petrino in Mo State, and then Jimbo and Texas A&M. I don't know if Max Johnson's going to be their starting quarterback, Haynes Keen. I don't know what that situation looks like in College Station.
Face value, I'll give you 25%.
That high?
Yeah, I mean, if you start 4-0, and then
that's
you
what I'm saying. What's the percentage they start 4-0?
Oh, percentage you start 4-0. Well, I guess that I'd give you a 25% chance if you beat Alabama. I'm gonna say it's somewhere around 40. I'm gonna say 45% that you start 4-0.
You got that high.
Well, you look at this team on just that's the first anyone's ever accused me of putting Razorback glasses on, but the fact that you have everything coming back, you've got your leadership set into place, you've got KJ who is set to have an incredible year, Jalen Catalon on the defensive side, you have the transfers in that you've got on that defensive side. It's setting up to be one of those incredible years. Now, does that come to fruition? Who knows? But the setup for it and these next 28 days that we have until kickoff against Cincinnati, it's going to be a lot of building of momentum and a lot of building of the what if this does actually come to fruition.
I have to wait and see. Long way out, less than 130 days till Arkansas takes on the Bearcats in week number 1. We're a lot closer to the Peacemaker, though, this summer, which is July 30th and 31st. Have you marked that on your calendar yet?
Oh,
like
yeah.
I told you to?
I'll be there.
Good. PeacemakerFest.com, Friday and Saturday down by the river here in downtown Fort Smith. You can find the videos, the pictures, and the awesome times on Facebook and Instagram, and it is an incredible, incredible concert. If you haven't gotten a chance to go to it before, you need to go. An unbelievable event that you're going to enjoy. Plus, they have donated so much money to nonprofits here in the area. Again, check it out, peacemakerfest.com. They've had some incredible bands here, and they have them again this year. Davis Mattek of Sports Grid talks NFL Draft next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is former Razorback kicker Zach Hawker. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Just watching her blonde hair, sunburned, stare at them white caps rolling over.
It's the 44th anniversary tent sale, April 22nd through May 2nd at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Get cash and carry savings on above ground pools starting at $19.99. In-stock hot tubs with monthly payments beginning at $70 with approved credit. In-stock fiberglass in-ground pools up to $5,000 off. Celebrating 44 years in business. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
This is Roger Holroyd, president of Arvest Bank, Fort Smith, inviting you to fight hunger by joining our Million Meals campaign. $1 given to this initiative can provide 5 meals to hungry families. This is a much-needed effort as more than 10% of U.S. households were food insecure in 2020. Now through May 28th, make a donation at any Arvest location. Arvest customers can also contribute via the Arvest Go mobile app. All contributions stay local. Arvest makes no representation that any donation is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Save thousands during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 350 new and pre-owned vehicles were damaged during the recent storm, and now over $1 million in discounts will be passed on to Harry Robinson's customers. Some of the damage is really minor, but the savings are severe. Plus, there are still lots of vehicles that were not damaged in stock. Save thousands on your next vehicle during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
One of the most common questions we get at Mosquito Joe is how can you possibly get rid of mosquitoes? At Mosquito Joe, it's our mission to keep your yard mosquito free. It's all we do. With the right products and the right training, you'd be amazed at the difference Mosquito Joe can make. Give us a call and we'd be glad to answer all your questions and tell you more. Get your first service for just $39. Call 479-202-9960. It's 202-9960 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is stepping up its bourbon selection. They now have E.H. Taylor, Angel Envy, Buffalo Trace, Bullet Rye, and Breckenridge, plus the same great pizza that you've come to know over the years. Give them a call at 479-783-9941 or check them out at papaspub.com. Stop in tonight for one of their new bourbons at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Spring is here, and Jelco Outdoors has all the gear for getting outdoors. There's no better way to spend a day than catching fish on a pond, creek, lake, or river. Jelco has all the rods, reels, baits, and tackle to make your fishing a success. Hurry in and check out the new fishing kayaks and canoes by Old Town and New Canoe. Bass fishermen, check out the new American-made JB3 rods, the lightest rods on earth. When you think spring, think Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Mattek Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Mattek Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Mattek Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, tap to the pitcher, glove by Taylor. He bobbles it, looks around, picks it up. Everybody's safe. Webb slides in expecting a play at the plate. It doesn't come, and we got a tie game.
Have you listened to Trusting the Process on the Hit That Line podcast network yet? Check it out on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Davis Mattek, Sports Grid's going to join us to talk some NFL draft tonight coming up in just a bit. We are brought to you by World of Wireless this morning, your local dish dealer. Call Ben at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. You can get whole home DVR service, high definition in every room. Plus, it's free local installation from a local company that you can count on. While it may be an 877 number, they are local here in the River Valley area. Call 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for WOW World of Wireless. Let's welcome in Davis Mattek this morning into the program, talking some NFL draft. And Davis, I want to start with Treylon Burks because you don't seem to have an issue with him, and several other NFL analysts are speculating, his 40 time wasn't good enough, his cone drill wasn't good enough. To the people that doubt Treylon Burks, Davis, what would your response be?
He didn't have the combine that I thought he was going to have, right? I mean, you watch about 2 minutes of his highlights or whatever, and you see him running away from SEC safeties, and you're like, yeah, that guy's going to have a great combine. But it's not like, this is not a guy who went into the combine and cost himself millions of dollars, right? Like there were a couple guys who went into the combine, didn't run, or put on horrible time. I mean, just for example, Kyron Williams in Notre Dame, basically, I mean, he might go undrafted. How bad his combine was. David Bell, the wide receiver from Purdue, another one who cost himself a ton of money. But so Treylon Burks was fine. I think the biggest thing in Treylon Burks' favor is he was far and away the best player on his college team. He's a young player. He's coming out as a junior. And, if you play fantasy football like I do, the combine might have helped him a little bit because now he's in the range where he could be drafted by the Cowboys. He could be drafted by the Bills. He could be drafted by the Chiefs. And those are all, obviously great situations.
You bring that up, Davis. I was recapping some old Arkansas draft selections in the first round, and I watched the Darren McFadden being drafted by the old Oakland Raiders. I'm not talking about the Al Davis Oakland Raiders. I'm talking about the trash that sort of followed the all I do is win, or win, baby, win. And it was a terrible situation. Tyler Wilson also found himself in that similar situation years later, another Arkansas player. You just brought up an excellent point. What team do you think would be the best fit for Treylon tonight?
Well, I think the Chiefs would be the best fit because he wouldn't have to start right away. He wouldn't have to be asked to come in and be the man right away. So they have Marquez Valdes-Scantling who can play outside. They have Smith-Schuster who can play in the slot, and they have Hardman who can play anywhere across the front three. And so what that would do is it would just mean whatever Treylon Burks is excelling at as a rookie, it's not like any of those guys are so good they can't leave the field for a first-round pick. So if he's the slot guy, then Smith-Schuster is the backup slot guy. Or if he's crushing on the outside, then Hardman is the fourth wide receiver in the rotation. So I think that's the best fit. The one thing that gives me pause is the Chiefs have not been very good at developing young wide receivers since Andy Reid and Brett Veach took over. So that gives me a little bit of a pause. I also think the Bills are a fantastic fit for his skill set.
Yeah, we had someone on earlier this week, Austin Gale, that said something similar. Him and Stephon Diggs, I would love that combination. Josh Allen whipping some passes. But you mentioned something with just kind of the alignment of the Kansas City wide receiver room. And one of the knocks on Treylon is that he didn't line up against the best cornerback a lot at Arkansas. He was in the slot most of the time and didn't line up on the outside as much. So if you're looking at his tape, and we know that NFL cornerbacks and NFL coverage is a lot different from college. A lot of times the best corner will just follow whoever the best player wherever he goes. Does that give you any just concern or questions about what he can do against some of the better corners in the National Football League?
I mean, I think it gives me, I don't know, momentary pause. Maybe, in terms of like ranking some of these wide receivers in my head, maybe I slightly prefer Garrett Wilson and Jamison Williams because they're a little bit more versatile. They spent more time playing against other teams' top corners. But I also think, that's kind of, it's maybe something that matters less now than it would have 5-10 years ago, because look how many guys who are their team's best wide receivers are primarily slot wide receivers. I mean, Cooper Kupp just had the best wide receiver season ever, basically other than Calvin Johnson's one mega year, and he played entirely out of the slot. I mean, he's getting, trick plays designed to him out of the backfield. I think that we're sort of past an era in football where the goal is to have your best wide receiver line up one-on-one and just win in isolation against the top corner. It's like it's the coach's job to get the wide receivers open. So I'm not really – I don't sweat it that much, especially because when Burks did face press coverage, he was really good against it.
Davis Mattek, Sports Grid, talking a little NFL draft with us this morning. You bring up Jamison Williams. You bring up Garrett Wilson. Got a chance to watch the Buckeyes a time or two this season. I mean, that wide receiver room of Jackson Smith Enigma, Garrett Wilson, and also Chris Olave, unbelievable. Is one of those two guys the first one off your board, Williams or Wilson, Davis?
Yeah, I think Wilson. I think Wilson probably goes first. I could see him going as early as 4 to the Jets. The one thing I have heard, though, as we've been making these NFL draft prop bets and stuff, is that some teams really, really like Drake London, which I think is sort of interesting because that style of player is kind of going out of style in the modern NFL, which is sort of what he's like. Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave and Jamison Williams, and Jahan Dotson and a lot of these first-round wide receivers, they're like 5'10", 185, 190, and then you have Drake London, who's huge, and Burks, who is bigger than them. But it's just sort of interesting to see how the ideal wide receiver size has changed in the NFL.
Davis, I think the wide receiver class, specifically that's going to be taken in the first round tonight, is loaded. You just referenced several of them. I'm curious also where George Pickens, I don't know if he goes off the board tonight coming off his ACL injury like Jamison Williams, but he's another guy that I think could be a big pickup for a team. But, man, I am not high on this quarterback class. Neither are you. You don't have more than 4 quarterbacks being drafted last night, as you just referenced a prop bet. If you had to pick one of them, who do you think has the most NFL success?
I mean, it's definitely Malik Willis. Malik Willis is the one who has the tools. He's still young. He's incredibly fast. I mean, he's got the cannon. I think people who are worried about his accuracy maybe haven't done as much of the research as possible, because he like on a lot of like the PFF stuff, he actually was fairly accurate. So but obviously very wide range of outcomes with him. But Pickett, Corral, Ritter, Howell, Carson Strong, I don't really see a multi-year NFL starter out of any of those guys. I mean, Pickett is going to be 24 by the start of the season, and people are talking like he might be the first quarterback to go, which seems really bad to me. Ritter is a little bit interesting just because he's so fast, but he, again, was actually one of the guys that kind of struggled with accuracy. So it just is kind of – it reminds me of that 2013 class, the E.J. Manuel, Geno Smith class.
Ugh. That was not a good quarterback class at all. Some SEC guys I want to talk about. Let's start with Jordan Davis. Now, my roommate is a diehard Baltimore Ravens fan. That's where you have him right now going, and he loves seeing stuff like that. The guy I'm sitting next to is a big-time Ravens fan as well. How does Jordan Davis potentially fit in John Harbaugh's defense?
I mean, it is just like he would be the most Ravens pick ever. They always have those great interior tackles. That's like what their defense is built on. They love generating pressure through the middle. And Jordan Davis is kind of one of those guys where like his stats were like not all that good. You go back and look at his stats at Georgia, and you're like, yeah, he's good. And then you go back and I mean, not that I'm watching a ton of interior defensive line Georgia film, but I've seen, the stuff floating around on Twitter, and like he'll be like getting triple teamed on the interior, going up against Alabama, and they got the center and the guard, and then it's also the running back's responsibility to chip him if he gets past the double team. So it's like, clearly this guy is going to be a menace at the NFL level, and if he is that good, I mean, he will change the Ravens season because they had so many injuries on defense last year.
Davis, a lot of our listeners are Dallas Cowboys fans, and they, to my knowledge, have not been pleased with the offseason thus far. Jerry Jones, the lack of movement that you thought the Cowboys were going to make. What type of movement could we see from the Cowboys to not only drafting, but maybe on the trade block as well?
I have bad news for Dallas Cowboys fans, of which my dad is a Cowboys fan. And I will always root for and like the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to take a left guard, probably, by the name of, I believe his name is Keon Johnson, Kion. He's a good guard, very good college player, very good combine. Everything coming out of Dallas is that they want to take this kid. If he gets taken, they might take Linderbaum, the center guard from Iowa. And it's not what I would do with the pick, for sure not what I would do with the pick. But it does sound like that's what they're going to do. I think the one saving grace, funnily enough, since we're on air in Arkansas, is that Jerry loves his Arkansas Razorbacks. And if Burks is sitting there at 24, I do wonder if Jerry might win an argument versus Stephen Jones and end up taking Burks.
That is a question that a lot of fans have had to this point, because while Jerry does love the Dallas Cowboys, I think Felix is the only one he's the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think Felix Jones in 08 is the only one he's drafted.
The only one he drafted.
Yeah, and to that though, Davis, John Stephen, his grandson, played with him. He goes to every game. I'd argue that no GM or owner knows Treylon Burks as much as Jerry and Stephen do. And as you just said, if he's sitting at 24, they lost Amari Cooper. I kind of agree with you. I think there's a good chance that he pulls the trigger and Treylon is playing about 4.5 hours away from Fayetteville.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's what they do. I think that would be a much better structural decision than to take a left guard when you just let Amari Cooper go. Michael Gallup's not going to be back by week 1. The Cowboys are going to James Washington is probably going to be the week 1 starting outside wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and I would much rather that be Treylon Burks.
Now, you did have him in one of your mock drafts going to the Green Bay Packers. We had Brett Good on yesterday, who was the longtime long snapper and Arkansas Razorback for the Pack, and we were both talking about the possibility of Treylon going up to Green Bay. Kind of got that small-town feel, get to receive passes from Aaron Rodgers for at least 1 year, hopefully a couple more. Do you see that as a fit with them just losing Devontae Adams, that Treylon goes up to Lambeau?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong about that. I think I'm gonna put out one more mock draft maybe around like noon today. I either think the Packers are not going to take a wide receiver, or George Pickens is the wide receiver that they are going to take. That is the direction that I think it is headed right now. I just because one of the things I kind of forgot is the Packers are big. They're a big threshold drafting team. So what I mean by that is like they have every player they take at positions where athleticism really matters. They have to fit inside a box, right? So wide receivers got to be taller than 6'2", got to weigh more than 210 pounds, got to run an X, Y, and Z combine time. And Burks does not fit those, but George Pickens and Christian Watson, two guys who are mocked quite consistently around the end of the first round are. And so it's crazy, but I think if Burks was on the clock and so were Pickens and Watson, I don't think they would take Burks.
Davis Mattek, Sports Grid, he's got a busy day today, and he's kind enough to make some time for us this morning. Davis, enjoy the draft, man, and we'll see what unfolds tonight later on.
Beautiful. Thanks for having me, guys. Enjoy the draft.
All right, good stuff from Davis Mattek. We'll recap it coming up in just a sec. We are brought to you this morning by Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. The hail damage that just happened. Hey, maybe you need to fix your car. Well, you can go to the local people at Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair because they're here all the time, all year. And you don't want someone that just kind of temporarily fixes it. You want someone that's been doing it for over 30 years in our community. They fix over 1 million customer vehicles in their 30-plus years with hail situations just like this. So contact Michael Littleton and his family because they are here to stay. Don't let your insurance company bully you around. Hey, you need to go here. No, go to Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Drew, I'll let you take a whack at Davis's his thoughts real quick. Anything that you agreed or disagreed with this morning?
Well, I mean, obviously the first thing that stuck out to me was the conversation about Jordan Davis and the fact that he could potentially be a Raven. You look at a lot of mock drafts, they don't have him going until somewhere in that 12 to 20 range, which that's one thing that I've really noticed this year when it's come to this draft. Normally there's a lot more consistency across the board on these draft experts and with these mock drafts that it's kind of been all over the place. And, up until earlier this week, Aiden Hutchinson was the number 1 overall pick. He's been the number 1 overall pick since January.
And then Treylon Walker.
And then this week alone, I mean, we've literally got to this week, and now you're seeing mock drafts where Aiden Hutchinson is down to 2. He's down to 5. Heck, I saw one earlier where he's down to like 10 or 11. So the biggest thing that I'm getting out of what this year's draft has to hold, and it's not just quarterbacks, is that there are a lot of unknowns in this draft. There are a lot of high potentials, high ceilings, but we don't know exactly where it's going to fit, who is going to fit where. But just the idea of Jordan Davis on the Ravens, oh, I love it.
You like that?
Oh, I love it.
All right. Well,
now, is that where they're going to go? I don't know. But when you've got a new GM who's been there for a few years in Eric DaCosta, luckily Ozzie is still in a consulting role. They haven't messed up yet. So I'm going to believe them. I'm going to trust them.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. Just a reminder, we'll have the NFL draft right here on ESPN Arkansas. Let's get into some quick headlines this morning. Let's start with the fight between the Cards and the Mets yesterday.
And it's up and in, and you had to know that was coming. And Arenado nods out at Lopez as if to say, I knew, and now he says, come get me. And here we go. You knew something was going to happen, and here it is. Both benches empty, and they are really going at it now. This has been brewing for the last couple of days. And after J.D. Davis got drilled in the ankle, bodies start to fly.
Cardinals beat the Mets 10-5 yesterday. A little bit of a skirmish after that wild pitch. I personally, as long as there's no injuries or anything, I kind of like baseball fights. I think it's part of the game to a certain extent. Are you on the opposite end?
It's tough fate, guys. And I love baseball. And anyone that's listened to Halftime or this program the last 10 so months since I've been here knows how much I truly do love baseball. It is my favorite sport. It's a sport that I was the best at. It's a sport that I've always loved the most. But when it comes to these fights, it's a lot of hold me back guys. It's a lot of fake toughness. And my favorite thing is the bullpen races. And if you watch the bullpen guys that come in from the outfield, they're racing, they're looking over, they're laughing, they're smiling. If you really wanted to fight, duke it out in center field. If that bullpen catcher with the shin guards on and the 10 relievers in the bullpen, they really want to fight, well, there's your group right there. They're only 20 feet away. You don't have to run in from center field. To duke it out in center field, it's fake tough guy stuff, and I don't like it. I mean, yes, you do get some good fights every now and then. There are some good ones. But there are so many just hold me back, pushing, shoving type of fights that if you're gonna do something, do it.
Do it.
If not, Don't waste our time and let's not have bullpen races.
I think it's more just about defending your guys and team's honor to a certain extent. It just varies on what it's about. But to Drew's point, I think there's some validity in his statement. Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF are planning to leave the American Athletic Conference for the Big 12 at the start of the 2023 school year, according to John Rothstein of FanDuel. That is big news. We're going to see a seismic shift not only with the NCAA, but the conference as a whole in college sports. That's a big tidbit coming up, and we'll discuss that more. Maybe we'll ask Tom about that coming up a little later on, because if you remember, they're transitioning to the Big 12 because of Texas and Oklahoma eventually leaving. It's going to be fun to see how this whole thing shakes out. And speaking of NCAA changes, this is from Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated. There are going to be some concepts that eliminate scholarship caps and different coaches, the amount of coaches. Like in baseball, we know there's no third coach in college baseball, and there's going to be certain things that are going to be taking place. Again, this is going to be a wild next couple of years on the transition and changes within collegiate sports, not just with the NCAA, but in a lot of different things. Drew, it is National Teach Children to Save Day. What did you blow money on more than anything as a kid? Me, it was fireworks. I bought a ton of fireworks, as they did in the Sandlot every year. I spent all my money on fireworks.
Well, I rarely got any money just due to the fact that my parents didn't believe in allowances. They believed that they allowed me to live in their house. They allowed me to eat. They allowed me to go to school and to have my basic needs. And so birthday money.
You not get a job?
I didn't have a job. I had a job when I didn't start technically working until I was 18 when I went off to college. Well, I played showcase baseball, man. I was on the road every weekend from the fall for basically 365 days a year. So that was my job, and ultimately I was going to pay my dad back.
How did you have money?
My parents would give me some money every now and then, but it was I'm talking like as a little kid. In high school, yes, my parents would give me money for different things that I did, and just to have some walking around, some folding money, if you will, in your pocket. But as a kid, at what age? What age are we cutting it off as a kid here? Are we talking 10? Are we talking 15?
You name it. What did you just blow money on?
Okay, I think before the age of 10, it was all baseball cards, and me and my brother would spend money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards before that.
That's a good investment. Do
Yes.
you still have them?
My brother does. My brother still has most of his Pokemon cards.
Do you have yours?
I could not tell you where they are. I can tell you exactly where every baseball card I ever bought is.
Okay. Well, those
but I
could
could
be
not
worth
tell
some
you where a
money.
Pokemon card.
You'd be surprised how much Pokemon cards are
Oh,
worth
I
one
know.
day.
I've seen them.
Little nephew has one that's worth $5,000. Now, he doesn't know that, but his dad and mom do, which is the important thing.
You're going to let him keep it?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't.
Sell the $5,000 card. Put it in the college fund, man.
It's not my card to sell. It's their
You tell
decision.
them, sell it.
It's
college fund.
It's their decision, not mine.
Higher education's going up.
Hey, does your movie night go from streaming to screaming? Does it screw up? If you live in a rural area, you probably experienced that a good chunk. Well, Wave Rural Connect is providing faster internet. The River Valley, Case, Bacola, Ozone, Altus, Mulberry, Chester, plus more areas. Go to Wave Rural Connect and check this out. 1-883-4WAVE-RC.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
How much life can you fit in a 2022 Toyota RAV4?
Hon, can you grab me a Swan float? They're in the RAV4.
The pink one or the yellow one?
How about 69.8 cubic feet for inflatable fun?
Want me to put the address in the RAV4's GPS?
No. I know exactly where yeah.
Thought so.
Up to 40 miles of uncharted terrain per gallon.
Get in the RAV4. Get in the RAV4. I did not expect mountain lions out here.
That's a cat.
But it's big though, right?
Yeah. big kitty.
That's 37.7 inches of headroom for tall tales.
Hey, pull into that taco stand here. I'm starving. I'm grabbing 2 number 4s.
And grab 2 for me.
And 2 to 4 number 4s for the largest appetites. The numbers add up. It's amazing how much life you can fit in a 2022 Toyota RAV4. Visit your local dealer or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability. EPA estimated 41 city, 38 highway, 40 combined MPG for 2022 RAV4 XSE hybrid.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Greenwood Collision is ready to serve as everyone assesses the damage from the recent storms. They will gladly work with all insurance companies and make the process of getting your vehicle back to new as painless as possible. Greenwood Collision is direct repair for most insurance companies and provides a lifetime warranty on all work. Let them do all the work for you. Call Chris or Joe today at Greenwood Collision at 996-9922 or stop by their location at 2615 West Center Street in Greenwood.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Hi, I'm Shay Foldbear with United Way of Fort Smith area. Join me and Arvest Bank in fighting hunger and feeding our local communities through Arvest Bank's Million Meals Initiative. Now through May 28th, you can make a monetary contribution at any Arvest branch or drive-through. And Arvest customers can make a monetary donation using the mobile app Arvest Go. All of your contributions stay local and benefit Community Services Clearinghouse, Antioch for Youth and Family, and United Way. Arvest makes no representation that any contribution is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Community, where you create a home, you shop, you play, you cheer. At Wave Rural Connect, we live in the same community as you. You might see our employees in the grocery store, at the park, maybe the ball game. Wave Rural Connect is here to enable this community that we love with fast fiber internet, TV, and phone right here in your town, along with friendly local customer service. Go to waveruralconnect.com or call us at 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out more. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have you received damage from the recent hailstorm? Call Freedom Roofing today. They are locally owned, licensed, and insured, dependable roofing company that will be here after the storm. Residential or commercial, they will be there step by step through the insurance process. Contact Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today for an estimate on all roofing services. Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Freedom Roofing.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Mattek Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, clouds, a chance of some showers across the north. We should see sunshine further south with high temperatures in the 70s. Could see a few showers or scattered thunderstorms across the north tonight. Overnight lows in the upper 50s. Drier weather across the south. And then we should be back into the 70s to near 80 on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light Next, with 0 carbs and only 80 calories. It's brewed for what's next.
With the 20th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Frank Ragnow, center, Arkansas.
All right, Buck. Woo Pig Suey.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com. I hit the 7-iron like John Davis was 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
One more day of Tommy out in Vegas. He'll be back with us tomorrow. We know what else is going on in Vegas. That would be the NFL Draft tonight. Where is Treylon Burks going to end up? We heard from Davis Mattek of Sports Grid last hour that he likes the idea of Treylon Burks being drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know a lot of you listen, you love the sound of that. We'll talk more about where he could end up coming up. We'll also go back to the phone lines as well. This morning on a Recruiting Thursday, we are brought to you by Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center, 803 South Y Street at the corner of Wheeler and Y. You can call them at 479-289-7111. They have their 3-day sale going on starting today through Saturday. Special pricing these days only. I'm talking about in-stock vinyl plank flooring, all in stock. You can take it home today with the best prices ever. Plus, there are huge quantities available for large or small rooms. Check them out on Facebook at Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center, formerly Fort Smith Flooring. That's Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center. Back to the phone lines, welcoming in Rudy, who is in Alma. One of the other subjects we touched on earlier this morning, what the atmosphere would look like for Arkansas if the Crimson Tide and the Razorbacks started out 4-0, top 10, maybe top 5 matchup inside Razorback Stadium, and Rudy wants to come back to that topic.
Hey guys, like you said, you were talking about the environment. The loudest stadium, I've been a season ticket holder for many years, and the loudest game I ever went to was I believe it was the 2010 Alabama Arkansas game when Ryan Mallett throws a swing pass to Ronnie Wingo, and that was the loudest I'd ever heard a stadium be. And now Texas was pretty loud last year, but man, that was the loudest game I'd ever went to. I think Arkansas, I got a bold prediction for you. I think Arkansas, they got all the toughest games in Fayetteville. They got Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. Cincinnati's the first game, but they lose like 37 players. So they're going to think that they're playing Alabama that first game. We're gonna roll over them, dudes. We totally can be undefeated when Bama comes to town. I guarantee you, game day is looking at that. They're going to mark Arkansas game. It'll probably be a night game, just like it was when Tennessee came. When McFadden was there and we beat Tennessee. But my prediction is, I don't think we will beat. I think we can beat Alabama, but I don't think we will beat them that game. But you've seen Arkansas' strength of schedule being anywhere ranked from number 1 to number 13. I think Arkansas can beat every other team on their schedule, and then they can still be, if their strength of schedule is that strong, they can still be in the top 4 for the college football playoffs by the end of the year. Now, it would be like, say, when Alabama played LSU, like in 2014, Alabama didn't play in the SEC title. LSU beat, I believe it was Florida. And so they were number 1, and Alabama was like number 3 and number 4, and then they had a rematch in the title game. I believe that's what – now this is hog-colored glasses, but this totally could happen because we have a great team. So that's my bold prediction, is that we will rematch with Bama in the championship game. Now, just one other thing real quick, and I'll let you go. I don't think Burks is going to be around in the 20s. I think he's going to go sooner than that because the dude played injured 3/4 of the season, and he continued to show how great of a player he was. So I think he'll be one of the first 2 receivers taken. So, anyways, that's all I had to say. So I'll let you go.
Thanks, Rudy. I appreciate the call. You're not the only one that shared the same opinion that the Alabama game in 2010 when Ronnie Wingo on the second play from scrimmage caught that swing pass. It was the loudest they've ever heard Razorback Stadium. Now, those opening 4 games are not cupcakes. Cincinnati, while they're losing a ton of guys, are including their starting quarterback, Desmond Ridder, they're still going to want to come into an SEC venue and prove that they belong. Then you've got Spencer Rattler in South Carolina, Petrino, Mo State. Yeah, you could probably chalk that up as the win. But then Texas A&M in College Station. Now, I love the optimism this morning. We're, again, less than 130 days out till the first Arkansas football game. And I hope you're right. I hope we're sitting here at the end of November, early December, talking about scenarios where Arkansas can make the college football playoff. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I would love to be. To your thing about game day, though, what's going to happen, CBS will have that game that day, Arkansas, Alabama, unless they choose. The only way that they could play that game as night is if they double flex that game. You've got LSU to Auburn that day, Kentucky and Mississippi that day, and A&M and Mississippi State. Those are the only games they consider doing it. But they could. You never know. Longest drought in the SEC in college game day, you know where it is? It's in Fayetteville, Arkansas. They've had it in Nashville at Vanderbilt. They've had it at Kentucky, in Lexington, football-wise, since Tennessee in 2006. That's crazy to think about. It's the longest drought in the SEC.
They were in Lexington this year, weren't they?
They in Lexington this year? I don't know.
It feels like they were everywhere in the SEC East because of how many times Georgia was a featured team on College Game Day. I think like at least 3-4 times.
You were at least featured, but you haven't had it in Fayetteville since then. All right, back to the phones. Ryan in Hot Springs. Ryan has a take on Arkansas and Alabama. It tells you how much people love football here. We're talking about the 5th game of the season, and it's 150-something days out from it.
Actually, so I was going to answer the thing about the Lexington thing. No, they went to Georgia twice, and the second time they went to Georgia was when they played Kentucky. No, I'll have it's going to be kind of this year. If we're going to beat Alabama, I'm not going to necessarily go out on a limb just yet. I mean, I feel pretty good about our chances this year. This year's now or never when it comes to beating Alabama. If we're going to beat Alabama, this is the year to do it. With their offensive line struggles, and then obviously they can go into the portal at any time and fix that issue. I'm going to preference that. But also their receiver depth, again, they could go into the portal at any time and fix that because it is Alabama. But I do believe this is, if we're going to beat Alabama with the team that we've got, this is going to be the year to do it. We like to have done it last year without Jalen Catalon. So think about that. He should be healthy for this game, and he will be a huge difference, I believe. But that's just kind of my take. I do think if we beat Alabama this year, I do think we'll have a kind of a goofy loss, maybe somebody like Mississippi State or somebody like that. But that's kind of just my 2 cents on that. And I do like our chances to have a really, really special season. It'll probably be probably the most special season we've had since 2011. And that's just kind of my 2 cents. I hope you'll have a good week and go Hogs.
Ryan, I appreciate your call this morning. And I think that you can have a special season even if you get 8 wins. I think that if you get the right ones, that's still a special season, at least in the regular season. I think 8 wins a lot of Arkansas fans would be pleased at this point. It's crazy to think about how much the expectations have changed, as they have in basketball. Some of you would have been disappointed if they lost in the Sweet 16 to the number 1 overall seed Gonzaga, but they didn't. That team, basketball-wise, Eric Musselman is already ahead of schedule. Sam Pittman and the football team's already ahead. Can they be again ahead of schedule in year number 3 like Muss and Co. were in year number 3 too? When it comes to betting, a lot of you want to bet on Arkansas's season win total. It's 6.5. Dude, they're going to win at least 7 games. No question. Well, you can do it at BUSR. You can do that. You do casino games. Heck, you can bet on movies. There's so many things you could bet on. They have a race book, a live casino, and it's fun, safe, and secure. Blackjack, you name it, they have it. And you're going to qualify for an exclusive 100% deposit bonus. Deposit $100 and get $100 added to your account. That's BUSR.com/Morning Rush. That's BUSR.com/Morning Rush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR. Let's talk some NFL draft and talk with Tom Murphy next on the Morning Rush.
Listen online at hitthatline.com.
Thanks, Tommy. Enjoy your show.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. To receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hello, this is Sue from the paint store in Van Buren. We are set and ready for all your spring and summer projects. We keep real samples of your Richards paint on file so we can be sure it matches every time. No computer can do that. The paint store in Van Buren. Color expertise and 34 years of knowledge outweighs all the competition. No other paint seller can do that. The paint store in Van Buren, Fayetteville Road, 474-4505.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you recently experienced possible hail damage to your roof? Is it just time to replace the one you currently have? Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance and adjusting and residential roofing. Brothers Roofing Crew has 17 years of experience themselves. He provides free estimates with the most competitive pricing in the area while using the industry's best materials. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Tiger to set down for Arkansas. Slavens drives the 1-0 to right field. Back is Pearson. Pearson at the wall, leaping. Out of here! 2-run homer for Brady Slavens.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Arkansas is probably going to have their first round draft pick since Frank Ragnow a few short years ago. We're going to tell you about that coming up in just a sec. A great place that you can watch the NFL draft tonight is at Joe's Grill and Cantina. We always tell you about the daily specials. We told you about half-price apps and taps during the Razorback televised games. And again, it is going to be bumping tonight on a Thursday to watch the NFL draft. You can call them at 478-9600 or stop by at 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps. My favorite thing at Joe's Grill and Cantina is the shrimp quesadilla. It is fantastic, but really anything you get at Joe's, including, don't sleep on their burgers and pork sandwiches as well. They're awesome. Again, stop by at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps here in Fort Smith. Where is Treylon Burks going to go tonight? Now, there are several plays that he made throughout the season. The Ole Miss touchdowns, the plays he made against, I don't know, you can pick a game, and you point it out. Outside of Georgia, where he's double-teamed, LSU, where he was mauled every single play, he was making plays every single game. Heck, the Rice game, he took it to the house on one of the big-time plays, and Georgia Southern. I mean, just go on and on and on. But the play that stands out to most, I know he didn't win the Heisman, but if you want to give him his Heisman moment or his career moment here at Arkansas, was this one.
Got to hurry. He's going to go that way and got it complete to Burks. Burks on the run. Treylon Burks, can he make it? All the way he can. Touchdown, Arkansas.
It's a gutsy call from this Arkansas offense. 3 men to the bottom. It's 3-on-2. Ness says it's 1-on-1 to the top. Do you take the easy first down throw at the bottom, or do you go 1-on-1 on the top? Hey, you need points. They're going to go back shoulder throw on 3rd and 1. And it's perfectly thrown, perfectly executed.
Then it's a foot race.
Yeah, then it's overrun by the safety.
Now, Clay mentioned this in the first segment of Hour 1 when we had him on. The big question for this football team, you heard the optimism from Ryan in Hot Springs. You heard the optimism from Rudy and Alma. A lot of you have optimism this morning, but it's how you're going to replace the All-American Treylon Burks. Now, the Alabama game, if you remember, there's 4 guys down low, and it's 3rd and 1. You're down 31-14. Treylon gets that back shoulder throw from KJ Jefferson, and he does the rest. As he did so many times last season, he'd catch a bubble screen, he'd catch a swing pass, and then just do the rest. Now, what you're going to see next year, who's going to step into that role, probably not going to be as good as Treylon. It'll be more by committee. But I hope GMs and I hope to everyone watching, you're going to see those highlights tonight. And I would be, again, shocked, Drew, if he didn't make it in the first round, if he was not drafted in the first round.
Oh, I think it's a pretty easy bet here tonight that he's going to be selected, that he's not going to make it to his second round of of tomorrow afternoon. So it would be shocking. The only thing that is still up in debate is really where does he fit? And when we talk about how this is not a very good quarterback class, well, this is a pretty good wide receiver class. There's a lot of different great, talented guys in this class, so it kind of just determines on where he is on these big boards of these NFL teams. Is he number 2? Is he 3, 4, 5? Because there could possibly be 5 or 6 wide receivers taken tonight alone, just in the first round. So it all determines on where he really does fit on that board, who goes in front of him, and just ultimately what the right fit is for him. I know plenty of people are hoping him to go to the Cowboys, to the Chiefs. Obviously you want him to go to the Packers, which is a big possibility where I think he would do incredible things with Aaron Rodgers for the next 2-3 seasons, as long as A-Rod is still up there in Green Bay. So it all just determines what is the best fit and where does he fall.
You had Ragnow in 2018, D-Mac and Felix in 2008, Jamal Anderson in 2007, Matt Jones in 2005, Ahmad Batman Carroll in 2004, Wells, Sean Andrews. Trying to see who else. I'm scrolling down this list right now. Who else was in the first round? Henry Ford in 1994. Steve Atwater in 1989, along with Wayne Martin. Scrolling down this list, Ron Ferret in 1984, Billy Ray Smith Jr. in 1983, Dan Hampton in 1979, Steve Little in 1978. Man, a kicker draft in the first round. That is insane to think about that. See if there's any more on this list. I think that might be it. Man, forgot how long this list is. Lloyd Phillips and Harry Jones in 1967. That was back when there was 20 rounds. Lance Allworth in 62. Those are some of your NFL draft selections. And Treylon, I think, is going to wind up on that list tonight as well, which is a pretty coveted list. Let's welcome in Tom Murphy to the program this morning. Tom, you watched Jamison Williams and Treylon Burks go back and forth. I think Mechie was actually the one that had the better game of the two wide receivers between Jamison and John. But I wonder if you're an NFL GM and you're looking at two guys that have torn their ACL, Treylon in high school, Jamison in the national championship game. You've watched a lot of both of them. Who would you draft over the other?
Hey, Ty. Good morning. It's nice to be on the air with you guys. That's a tough question. It just depends on what you feel like the long term is for the guys, what you think of their personality, how they'll fit in your room, how explosive they are. Look, Jamison Williams had a massive game against Arkansas, including the touchdown that was, I think it was him, the touchdown that was right on the end line. Did he catch it or not? Was his hand under the ball? Because that took a long review. And then, of course, they had the review of the Rocket Sanders touchdown on the other end zone. It just who filled my needs. Look, the Falcons are in the market for a wide receiver, and a lot of people have them taking one at pick number 8. I'd love to see Treylon Burks go to the Atlanta Falcons. I think he and Kyle Pitts would be a massive combo, but I see more people giving the Falcons Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State in that slot. And he's 5'11". I'd rather have a tall guy, and so. It was nice this morning to wake up and see Daniel Jeremiah's latest mock have us taking Jamison Williams at number 8. He's coming off the ACL, and I don't know if he's going to be ready. I think teams will have to be patient with him. So maybe the Falcons aren't a contender this year. Boy, I'm going on and on. I love them both. I think both of them are going to be star NFL players.
Well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you about your Atlanta Falcons, and you just answered it for me. So kind of moving on from that, with you, I know you're a Falcons fan and you're an NFL fan, so you watched the draft. Tom, in your opinion, how many do you think Arkansas fans that don't normally watch the draft tonight will tune in specifically just to see where Treylon Burks goes?
That's a great question, and I think there will be a lot of folks doing that because Treylon's been – I mean, look, y'all, the tweet you guys had this morning, it was a different angle of his touchdown against A&M that I'm not sure if I had seen it or not. Maybe back when it happened I'd seen it, but I forgot. It was a field view angle from a downed on the sideline where he scored, and there's a referee trying to keep up with him and the A&M DB, and of course Treylon smokes the guy. But that shows his speed, that he caught the ball and he still wasn't on stride. He was stumbling a little, and I remember thinking in my head, oh, he might fall, but he didn't. He got his balance, and the DB still didn't catch up, and he I think it was Miles Jones, and he got his balance and outran him big time. So that it's just so fun to watch Treylon Burks clips because he's made so many great catches. You remember back-to-back catches against Ole Miss? He's caught back-to-back 37-yard balls that were just, throw me the ball deep, I'm going to beat my guy. And he almost scored on the second one. They started on the 25, and they went 37, 37, and he stretched out and tried to score, but they marked him on the 1. That was a fun shootout game too. But I'm just so happy for Treylon Burks that, I've got family who live in Warren and all around Warren, and they just have that fantastic pipeline, the Bo Hembry pipeline. I wrote about it today, and I asked Treylon, who's the Warren GOAT? And he goes, oh, man, I would have to say me on that one. And then Jarius Wright agreed, even though I love Jarius Wright. I mean, when that group showed up, it was a renaissance of Arkansas football, and it included both he and Greg Childs, who played at Warren High, and Chris Gregg, and then obviously Joe Adams, and then Kobe Hamilton came along. But that was a golden era 1 decade ago for Arkansas receivers, and now Treylon Burks, kind of on the solo, has matched some of their feats.
Tom, I remember hearing about Treylon Burks in high school and what he did for the Warren Lumberjacks, and I'm always one of those guys, I have to see it at the college level before I jump to conclusion. What stood out to me, he had a solid A&M game, but when KJ came in against Mississippi State 2 years ago, they scored in 3 plays. KJ had a long run. He threw a deep fade route to Burks, and Burks just went up and jumped over the Mississippi State defender and caught it near the 1 or 2 yard line. I knew right then and there that Arkansas had something special. When did you know that it's like, man, this guy's going to play on Sundays?
Well, it's interesting you asked that. There were times, I think some of his punt returns in his freshman year when, amazingly, and here's a stat for all time, he didn't score a touchdown in his freshman year. You have a talent like him with a huge hands that you could throw jump balls to in the red zone. And you think back to that season, they have the ball late against both A&M and Kentucky with a chance to win the game, and a ball is not thrown to Treylon Burks in the end zone. Anyway, maybe some of his punt returns when he'd catch it over his head like he did, and try to get to the edge. And I thought for sure he'd break one of those and score a touchdown that year. But he just. And I had been hearing about him for years and years because some of my kinfolk were saying, oh, Warren's got a receiver. Wait till you see this kid. And it was him.
We're talking with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat-Gazette this morning. Tom, you've yet to give your opinion on this program about Mark Emmert, who announced earlier this week that he and the NCAA will mutually agree to part ways as of June the 30th, 2023. Your thoughts on his tenure and what the NCAA needs to do moving forward with the changing of collegiate athletics?
Well, he just seemed a little tone deaf the last many years. And I think sometimes when you're insulated from the normal people and you just maybe you have some yes men around you and you're paid so much and you have so much power that sometimes you just lose touch. And I think that happened with him. The NIL obviously was one of the last blows, I guess you could say, to his tenure, because we've got the Wild Wild West. We've got schools that are setting up programs that are just going to dole out the money for the NIL, and that's not the way it was meant to be. And so I would say that near chaos has infiltrated the NCAA now, and their fecklessness at trying to implement NIL. I mean, they fought it until it lost in the courts or won in the courts for the players. And now we've got a bit of chaos on our hands. And I think what you hear from national folks who write about this more often is that eventually maybe the super conferences are going to govern themselves somehow. And the NCAA can run the tournaments because they're pretty good at doing that. And so we're in a bit of a wilderness, and I don't know how things are going to get realigned and put back into check.
Tom, there seems to be more changes coming. Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated is reporting about several things. The scholarship caps being eliminated, the abolishing the limitation of number of coaches per team, expanding direct payments from schools to athletes, the transfer portal having closed periods. I don't know if you've read that report just yet, but just hearing a couple of those things, what do you think about what's to come in the next couple of years for what we know now that's college athletics and what it could be, as you just kind of talked about?
Well, yeah, I mean, if a few of those things get implemented, look, that's starting to look like a professional organization, is it not? And then I've had people talking to me lately about, well, what if they form unions and then they become basically part-time employees of universities? Well, then what do you got? See, to me, that starts the ring of chaos, and then courts decide, and people decide that really aren't in college athletics. You know, they're in governance and stuff and politics, and it loses a bit of its the amateurism feel of it has been long gone. But I don't doubt that some of these measures are going to come into play, and you're going to just have the big spenders have massive staff. I mean, they already do. Look at the number of analysts that some of these schools have, and the portal has changed the way rosters are built, and I don't know who's going to take the firm hand and put guidelines, restrictions, and monitoring of how things get run. Mm-hmm. But I think Nick Saban gave us a warning way back when. Are we going to turn this into free agency? And that's what it looks like. So it's so many different factors hitting at one time. COVID and then post-COVID, the NIL, the transfer portal, all hitting at one time. And Mark Emmert and the NCAA was hardly in position to handle it. And this is what it has put upon college athletics. And it's a wild time. It's an exciting time for players. They're signing NILs and all that looks great. But for the organizations themselves, it's the people who adapt to the change the fastest are going to be the ones who profit, and those are the ones who have the biggest organizations.
Yeah, it's crazy, as you just said. Tom, as we wrap you up here, I know you probably saw that email yesterday. Topgolf's coming to Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium next week, and they were kind enough to let some media members hit it a little bit before. You going to make it to that media Topgolf event next week?
I'm thinking about doing that. It just kind of depends on what all's happening, and it would be fun. I mean, to have everything tracked on the spot. So my answer is a firm maybe. And you're probably going to go, right?
Absolutely. Now, I'm not going to be able to hit it straight because I'm a horrendous golfer, but I am absolutely going to take advantage of that, no question.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. And, hey, man, Arkansas Athletics I think it's a smart move. I mean, they'll have to retrofit Walton Arena if they're going to get big, rock performances in there in Walton. And maybe that's something for down the road. I don't know. But having Garth Brooks perform at Razorback Stadium, all I've heard is what a show and what an event it was. And when you look at some of the overhead, the drone pictures and stuff like that, it just looks big time. And I think it's smart of Arkansas Athletics to expand in that kind of way. But you can't tear up your football field every time, that's for sure. And this time they know they're changing out the turf or the grass. So it's neat that they're doing it.
It's good timing. Yeah, don't be surprised after the renovations if you see more concerts. Maybe a bomb concert, as Tommy brought up earlier this week. Tom, good stuff as always, man. We'll talk next week.
You betcha. Enjoyed it. Thanks.
I probably should have asked him about Ole Miss baseball. You got that series starting tomorrow a little bit as well. We'll recap with him on Monday. This morning we are brought to you by Burn Pools and Spas. They had their 44th anniversary tent sale starting April the 22nd, so it started already through May the 2nd. You can make your backyard dreams come true. They have in-stock hot tubs with monthly payments starting at just $70 a month with approved credit. in-stock fiberglass in-ground pools with up to $5,000 off. Plus, select packages from Doughboy with an upgrade savings of $640. Plus, summer chemical supplies are 10% off. Act now. Stop by 6121 South Zero Street in Fort Smith and in Springdale at 725 off I-49. Let Burton Pools and Spas start building the backyard of your dreams, and check them out at burtonpools.com. What are you fist pumping over there?
Oh, I'm just glad you said something because I had to check my email to make sure that I got the email. I just requested it. I responded. So I'll be there on Wednesday. I'm going to go for sure.
I don't know, man. I thought Tommy had something that you had to do next week.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday from 4:30 to 6 at night?
You better go double check with him on that.
Okay.
Just to be safe. I don't know if you guys caught this yesterday, and I'm not a government guy, so I don't know what it's congressional hearing or I don't know what to say. Congressman Steve Womack had this to say about Clay Henry. Thought that was pretty cool, and I think a lot of you guys feel the same way about Clay semi-retiring. Take a listen.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to recognize the retirement of one of Arkansas's most admired sports journalists, Clay Henry. Clay has retired after decades of covering Arkansas Razorback athletics, notably the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, the weekly publication dedicated to the coverage of our beloved Hogs. It was natural for Clay, given that he was the son of another sports legend in Arkansas journalism, Orville Henry. I'm quite confident his introduction to Razorback sports was while he was still in diapers. Then later, as a stat man for the Arkansas Gazette at the age of 14. He was produced by the best, tutored by the best, and like those before him, became the best. Stops along the way at publications like the Log Cabin Democrat in Conway and the Tulsa World helped prepare him for a gig in 1992 with a new Arkansas magazine called Hogs Illustrated. Leaving the Tulsa World for an upstart might have been a tough decision for a lot of people, but with Clay, it just seemed a natural fit. After all, Clay was a hog, not a Sooner. He partnered to buy the publication with George Billingsley before eventually selling to Stevens Media, then later to the Hussman Company, Waco Media, which became the sole owner. In every step, the common denominator that found its way into the mailboxes of hog fans everywhere was Clay Henry. Lots of contributing writers, amazing photographers, great salesmen, but only one, Clay Henry. 27 years as publisher, and now it's off to the Norfolk River, where the Trout now have a full-time enemy. That is when Jean Ann, his bride of 43 years, doesn't have him doing honeydews or assuming the Razorbacks don't come calling. Congratulations, my friend, for a journalism career of enormous success and professionalism. The Hog Nation is forever grateful.
I thought the part about the Trout having a full-time enemy was a good portion of that speech. A little over 2 minutes long, but for Clay, I know that he probably appreciated that, and so many of you have appreciated his work either on these airwaves over the years, on Bo's show, on Clay's show. He's done it for a variety of different things in addition to Hogs Illustrated, which we know that's kind of the biggest thing that he's known for too. So wanted to get that in there this morning. Clay is not, again, fully retired. We need to make sure we call him semi-retired, and he wants to be known as Becca and Sarah's dad from now on. Just a heads up on that. Have your travel plans, have they changed at all? Or why don't you just go try out Gaston's White River Resort? My parents go twice a year. Drew and his dad went a couple weeks, about a month ago or so, and it is a great place, not just to fish, but if you just love nature itself, you're going to love Gaston's. It's on the beautiful White River, which we know is some of the best fishing, not just in Arkansas, but all the United States. You can call at 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Check them out online at gastons.com. The restaurant is amazing. I'm a big fan of the blackened chicken pasta. It is unbelievable. Again, come on and see him at Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
I love the show, guys. Listen to you every morning.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
It's the 44th anniversary tent sale, April 22nd through May 2nd at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Get cash and carry savings on above-ground pools starting at $19.99. In-stock hot tubs with monthly payments beginning at $70 with approved credit. In-stock fiberglass in-ground pools up to $5,000 off. Celebrating 44 years in business. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com.
Did your vehicle receive hail damage during the last storm? Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is here to help. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your one-stop shop for all things dent repair and more. With over 30 years experience, Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is locally owned and a name you can trust. You have the right to choose who repairs your vehicle, so ask for the best. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair, a name you can trust.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
The basketball playoffs are here, and you can wager on all the games with the Bentley Sportsbook from Southland Casino. It's the only online sportsbook live in Arkansas. Visit Bentley.com to sign up and cash in on your up to $250 risk-free first bet. Bentley's online sports betting offers real paydays. Place bets on pro and amateur sports, including the local teams with Bentley. BETLY.com. Plus, you'll get paid in cash. The Bentley Sportsbook's easy action is a slam dunk. Take your shot today. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
This is Roger Holroyd, president of Arvest Bank, Fort Smith, inviting you to fight hunger by joining our Million Meals campaign. $1 given to this initiative can provide 5 meals to hungry families. This is a much-needed effort as more than 10% of U.S. households were food insecure in 2020. Now through May 28th, make a donation at any Arvest location. Arvest customers can also contribute via the Arvest Go mobile app. All contributions stay local. Arvest makes no representation that any donation is tax deductible. Please consult your tax advisor.
Racing fans, the road to the roses has started. Where are you going to bet? BUSR, of course. Win, place, show, you name it, they got it. You can even place future wagers on the Kentucky Derby today and lock in fantastic odds. Besides horses, you can bet on sports and play over 300 casino games at BUSR. Sign up today and get an exclusive 100% deposit bonus. Go to BUSR.com/morningrush. That's BUSR.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence. Bet with BUSR.
Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith is open and ready to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations available for ages 5 and up and the new second booster for ages 50 and up. These vaccines are safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Call 452-6116 to schedule your booster appointment or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Warning, this event may cause inflated egos, broken lines, and lost lures, but with over $14,000 in cash and prizes, you won't want to miss the 32nd Annual Trilex Big Bass Festival, sponsored by Sevier County Chamber of Commerce. May the 28th, Memorial Day weekend, set your alarm for early a.m. and head to either Gillum, DeQueen, or Derrick's Lake. Set your sights and your hook on the $1,500 Big Bass prize. Call 870-584-3225 or visit www.seviercountychamberofcommerce.org for info and entry forms. This ad paid for with state funds and private regional association funds.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Oh, yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Trying to get Heather Dinich on tomorrow. She covers the college football playoff for ESPN. She has the Arkansas Razorbacks as a college football playoff sleeper. She referenced when Sam Pittman said after the Alabama game, the days of us getting our teeth kicked in are over. Arkansas had lost prior to that game by an average of 34 points as of late, and you lost by 7 last year in Tuscaloosa. I cannot wait for that game. First weekend in October coming up. Now, I am hoping that they are 4-0 at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I will be at a wedding that day, so I'm hoping I can fetch a pretty penny for those tickets. I'm hoping that.
What about what if your situation works out? Are you going to be able to go to game day that morning?
I don't know what the what our schedule will look like. It depends on if that game's at night or whatever. We'll have to.
I mean, am I going to have to be the ESPN Arkansas representative at college game day? I will do it. I mean, I will volunteer to wake up at 4 a.m., drive to Fayetteville, and crack open a cold one at 6 a.m. I'll volunteer for that.
You're gonna drink on a work day?
Yeah. I mean, I can have a beer or two.
Whatever you gotta do, man. Whatever you gotta do. I
see. Some of us in this business are just being adults. See, we know how to be able to have a few drinks and stop. We don't have to drink until we're
have
drunk.
A beer, just I don't like to. If I'm gonna drink something,
Are you gonna have a beer tonight, or are you gonna stick with your Mr. Pibb?
Drink with my Mr. Pibb. If I had a choice, I like the Mr. Pibb better than the beer in that situation.
I really just don't understand how you can't just like tonight.
I could.
I'm going to have 2-3 beers at Papa's. You can't just have 1 or 2 and stop.
I could. I just don't want to.
I don't get it.
That's the thing. NFL draft this night. Treylon Burks has a chance to be one of the next Arkansas Razorbacks drafted in that first round. Frank Ragnow was it back in 2018. Let's go back to 2008 when you heard the commissioner announce this.
Nobody is on the phone, but the commissioner's
Maybe
at the podium.
Right.
With the 4th pick in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Oakland Raiders select Darren McFadden, running back, Arkansas.
You knew the reaction would be loud, and it is, as the player that most people say is the most talented with the biggest upside in the draft is selected by the Raiders.
Went to an organization that was in disarray. Darren did not have the NFL career that many of us expected him to, and I'm going to blame the Oakland Raiders on that just because of what situation they were in. I hope wherever Treylon's drafted, even if it's not to the Green Bay Packers, I hope it's just a good situation, good quarterback or a good coach or somewhere he could find himself and be productive for not just this upcoming season, but many years to come. D1 Baseball has regional-wise you as the number 6 overall seed right now. We'll have to wait and see what the teams are. If they end up getting a top 8 national seed, host for the regional, win that, host for the super regional. That's going to be a lot of fun to have people in Baum-Walker Stadium for postseason baseball again. Speaking of Arkansas baseball, how about Benny baseball? He's hitting an American League best near 400 batting percentage. 389 is where he is at. He's been killing it, Drew.
Oh, no, he definitely has, and he's kind of reinsurged himself here in Kansas City this season, and he's been a guy that when he was with Boston, you knew that he had the potential to do this, had some really good years with the Red Sox.
Had a great World Series.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Benintendi is a great player. Hopefully he can keep it going, and hopefully the Royals can get back to where they were, back in 2014. 2013 through 2015, I think, were the 3 glory years of the Kansas City Royals in recent memories. I know in 2014 they swept my O's, so.
Then we didn't pay anybody. We just let everyone go. Mm-hmm. We're just like, oh, you got too good, we can't pay you. You got too good, we can't pay you. You got too good, we can't pay you. That's what happened. Brady Tigert has landed on the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association Stopper of the Year Midseason Awards watch list. One of 62 players. They're going to announce the finalists. When is that? June the 8th, and the winner is going to be Friday, June 17th. So that's coming up. Tigert's been great. Struck out 30 batters this year, only around 4 runs all season. He's been your guy. That's going to do it for your Hog Update. It is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Now, I don't want you to do this. And I
just now reading it for the first time.
Wouldn't think you would. Put this in the rundown yesterday. This is a story on CNN. A Florida bride and her wedding caterer have been arrested and accused of lacing wedding food, including lasagna, with marijuana, causing several guests to become sick. And according to the arrest warrant affidavits, that is not a fake story. That is actually what's being charged right now. So I had it on the rundown. Are you going to do this? No, I know you're not going to do this. But I wonder.
Not only will I not do this, I can't. Like, my father-in-law is a retired FBI agent. Like, my future aunt, or I guess I don't know what the father's sister would be called. I guess my future aunts are both FBI agent, Homeland Security.
Just call her aunt-in-law.
And my 2 aunt-in-laws are in FBI. Like, if any drugs were be involved in my wedding, I'm pretty sure I'd wind up in not the best place. My father-in-law has been to Guantanamo. My fiance has a stuffed iguana to prove it.
A stuffed iguana.
Yes, they have a gift shop at Guantanamo Bay. Did you know they have a gift shop?
I was unaware of that.
Yes, they do.
I just wonder what goes into the mind of someone to think that would be a good idea. And listen,
you want your wedding guests to have a good time, man. You want everybody to get up and dance, and what better way to do that than,
That's what the alcohol's for.
Plug them in with the little smoking courage instead of liquid courage.
When are you going to figure out what, because you've talked about the process that's 14 months away, when are you going to settle on the food, the drink, the setup?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've already started to look at so food-wise, our venue does the catering. We don't really get a choice now. We get to pick the menu. We're going to do cocktail hour with the hors d'oeuvres and everything like that.
Before the wedding or after the wedding?
Well, between the wedding and the reception.
Okay.
We know that we're going to do some type of Memphis-style food. There will be barbecue, obviously. And drink-wise, we're going to do just beer and wine. If you want to sneak in your own bottle, you can sneak in your own bottle. But beer-wise, we're going to have Bud Light, Wiseacre Tiny Bomb, which is a Memphis beer, Budweiser, and then we will have White Claws for all the women and, of course, Ty.
Wow, man.
And then we'll have red and white wine.
Okay.
So you will have your White Claws.
Okay. I always get a kick out of the different Mr. and Mrs. drinks that they have, like the different back and forths of the combination of stuff. But that'll be fun in July. We got something to look forward to in 14 months. But yeah, the thought process and the decision making, and that would, to me, that would be more something I thought the groom would do. But apparently it was the bride. I don't know if the groom knew about it. I don't know if he was involved. I didn't read the full story. I just kind of read the headline. But that's
I'm sure
crazy.
He knew, and he was probably involved and probably gave the thumbs up. Or it's one of those situations that I've learned where you don't even listen. You just say, yes, dear, whatever you want.
All right. Well, that's, again, don't do it. I don't think you're going to, but don't do it. Hey, CSI Renovations and Roofings provides commercial roofing and replacement and repair with a durability guarantee providing roofing applications surpassing storm, wind, and rain requirements for over 3 decades. They have long-term roofing association memberships and awards, and they are a licensed contractor in the state of Arkansas. Give them a call, 501-569-9100. Warehouses, factories, strip malls, they can do it all, and you get a free estimate. Call or go online at csiroofers.com/AR. Chris Irvin and his group from CSI Renovations and Roofings are committed to making you happy with over 3 decades of experience. Hour number 3 coming up. Richard Davenport joins us to talk a little recruiting next.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
How much life can you fit in a 2022 Toyota RAV4?
Hon, can you grab me a Swan float? They're in the RAV4.
The pink one or the yellow one?
How about 69.8 cubic feet for inflatable fun?
Want me to put the address in the RAV4's GPS?
No. I know exactly where yeah.
Thought so.
Up to 40 miles of uncharted terrain per gallon.
Get in the RAV4. Get in the RAV4. I did not expect mountain lions out here.
That's a cat.
But it's big though, right?
Yeah, big kitty.
That's 37.7 inches of headroom for tall tales.
Hey, pull into that taco stand here. I'm starving. I'm grabbing 2 number 4s.
And grab 2 for me.
And 2 to 4 number 4s for the largest appetites. The numbers add up. It's amazing how much life you can fit in a 2022 Toyota RAV4. Visit your local dealer or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability. EPA estimated 41 city, 38 highway, 40 combined MPG for 2022 RAV4 XSE hybrid.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one handpicked and inspected in our Mattek Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires in our Mattek Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Mattek Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
In a day and age of global business, sometimes it's nice to have a friendly professional close to home and on your side. First Western offers exactly that when you're getting a home loan. Their mortgage professionals have over 100 years of combined experience in this market to help you navigate the mortgage process. Contact First Western today at 479-936-2040 or firstwestern.com/mortgage. First Western is your local community bank and would love to walk you through the home loan process. First Western is an equal housing lender.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, clouds, a chance of some showers across the north. We should see sunshine further south with high temperatures in the 70s. Could see a few showers or scattered thunderstorms across the north tonight. Overnight lows in the upper 50s. Drier weather across the south. And then we should be back into the 70s to near 80 on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shed. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
With the 20th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Frank Ragnow, center, Arkansas.
All right, Buck. Woo Pig Suey.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes,
It's time to talk some recruiting with Richard Davenport here on a Recruiting Thursday. Richard will join us coming up shortly in just a sec. You got a question for him? Text in 877-377-6963. This morning, we are brought to you by Patriot Transport. Great people, great equipment, and great opportunities. That's what you're going to get at Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, Arkansas, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren. With regional OTR and local opportunities for qualified CDL drivers, you can make up to $95,000 annually to be part of a team that embraces the concept of family. Patriot Transport wants you to be successful on the road and at home, working with the driver to ensure they get the miles they want and the family time at home they strive for. Patriot Transport, more than trucking, it's family. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com to apply. Richard, I want to go back a couple years ago when Treylon Burks was coming out of high school and kind of share with our audience this morning, what do you remember about those recruiting conversations with young Treylon and him making his decision to end up at Arkansas? Try this again. Richard, you with us, buddy?
Okay, sorry about that, guy. My fat cheek hit the mute button.
Oh.
So, it wasn't on your end. It was on my end. So going back to Treylon, he was a good kid coming out of high school, but he just did not like to do interviews. I mean, very few times would he communicate with you. And just there's some guys that are like that, and I respect that. The only times I was really able to get him to talk is if I went to I went to one of his games, and I went to 2 games, I think 2 or 3 games, and was able to talk to him, and he was fine then. He still wasn't the most talkative guy, and I think that's still the case now. But obviously he's gotten better. That's the case with just about every young man that I've talked to during the recruiting process initially. That some would just jump right into it and they're like naturals. They're very natural at it, and they will just talk your ear off, which is a good thing. I like that. But some guys are a little bit more reserved, and Treylon is one of those.
When you think about where he was talking then to his a little more openness now? He's still not Magic Johnson. Like, he's not just going to talk your ear off, but he has seemed to come into his own a little bit, and I think that helps with his play. What do you think NFL GMs and owners and scouts, what do you think they've learned about him in the draft process just personally?
I would probably think that the just guessing that they would probably come away thinking, he's kind of a low-key guy. He's not gonna say too many outrageous things, and not any outrageous things. I don't recall him saying anything at Arkansas that, you'd go, whoa, man, I'm not so sure he should have said that, which is a good thing. He won't be a distraction to a team. He'll just do his job. And he's, like you said, he's obviously gotten better while he's at Arkansas as far as, with the media, and he's fine there. I would think that maybe if he didn't open up in some of the one-on-one meetings, that there might have been a little frustration. I have no idea if that was the case or not, because they're trying to get to know you the best way possible, and try to see what makes you tick and things like that. So I just tend to think that overall he probably came across as a guy that's low key. He's going to tend to his business, and that's pretty much it, I guess.
The NCAA is going to go through a couple new transition rules, and we've talked about a few of them this morning, touched on some of them with Tom. Richard, in your opinion, should the NCAA try and get involved with recruiting rules and circumstances? What do you think they should be doing, or the expectation moving forward?
Well, I mean, if they don't, it would just be absolutely insane, and it is right now because there's no rules with really NIL. I mean, the schools are promising kids now, which they're not supposed to, deals with NIL, and that's being used in recruiting for sure right now. But you can't. There has to be somebody that tries to enforce the recruiting rules, and if not, it's chaos. The problem is the NCAA didn't do a good job of enforcing the rules for the longest, and still hasn't. So even if they up the amount of people in enforcement, they'd have to really have a track record of enforcing rules and penalizing schools that do wrong before people would change their attitude like it is right now, because most people don't have much confidence in the NCAA doing anything right as far as penalizing schools and coaches and things of that nature.
We're talking a little recruiting with Richard Davenport this morning on the Morning Rush, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Richard, you wrote a piece recently about kind of the next move, the next transition for Sam Pittman and his staff. They're going to be hitting the road. I think they said they're going to try to get all 140 high schools or something like that. What does that look like the next couple weeks and months as they transition kind of to what their roles are?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be going to high schools, and a lot of times you go for. They allow you to go to a high school twice, one for an athletic evaluation, one for an academic evaluation. Basically, you can use them for whatever way you want to, but a lot of times coaches will go and get the transcripts, or most of the time now it's they can just be emailed to schools, but they'll try to get to know the kids in the 23, 24, and 25 classes, and try to see what kind of kid he is, talking to teachers and counselors and people like that. But they'll be in Arkansas today, and Friday, like you mentioned, and trying to visit all the schools that play football, and then they'll venture out next week and go regionally and nationally too. So it's basically just an opportunity to try to learn more about the kids and let the kids know that, hey, you're important. That's why we're at this school. And also you can find a diamond in the rough. That happens every year, where a coach will go out and a high school coach will say, "Hey, this kid's not getting much looks," and they'll take film, take a look at film, and the coach will come back and say, tell the offensive or defensive coordinators or Coach Pittman, say, "Hey, we need to take a look at this kid," and sometimes that translates into an offer and them recruiting them.
Is Terry Hampton a diamond in the rough? Here's a guy that's gotten an Arkansas offer, very undersized, played at Arkansas State, had good numbers. Could he potentially be kind of a smaller defensive tackle that you wouldn't necessarily look at the first time, but maybe the second or third time going around, you think, well, he's worthy of that?
Only time will tell. I'll be honest with you. I haven't kept up with him at Arkansas State. Obviously, last year he was injured. He had a knee injury. He only played in about 6 games. The year before, I think he had like 35 tackles, 6 tackles for losses, and 2.5 sacks. So decent numbers from that position. I communicated with him in high school, and I remember, he was an athletic guy. One of the combines that he attended his junior year before his senior year, he ran a 5.14 laser, which basically translates down to about a 4.9, which is very good. He had a 28-inch, basically a 29-inch vertical, which is very good for a big guy. And he had a 4.34 shuttle, which shows really good agility. So his athleticism is there. How he's developed since he's been at Arkansas State, I really can't say for certain, but obviously Arkansas has offered, and several others, and Texas Tech offered him yesterday.
We're talking a little recruiting with Richard Davenport this morning. Richard, Gary Bohannon out of Earl, Arkansas, entered the portal, did not win the starting job at Baylor. I think Blake Shapen is the quarterback that was announced the starter. I know that Sam Pittman has talked about 2 positions, wants to add a wide receiver and a couple defensive linemen. But that was prior to them talking about when and why am I forgetting his name? Who's the quarterback they just lost? It's escaping me. That entered the transfer portal at Houston.
Oh, Lucas Coley.
Lucas Coley. He goes to the portal, goes to Houston. And with Bohannon having Arkansas ties, is there any indication that would lead you to believe that he could potentially wind up in Fayetteville?
I talked to somebody yesterday down in Waco, and they didn't have a clue what he was thinking. But it'd be hard pressed to think he would be interested in coming to Arkansas because of KJ. I mean, he's wanting to go and play immediately. I just can't imagine him coming to Arkansas. He's going to be looking at some rosters and trying to figure out the best spot for him to be able to get on the field, unless he would be willing to redshirt. And I highly doubt that would happen.
Yeah, I was surprised Ben Hicks comes over first, and then, or was it Hicks or Starkel that committed to Arkansas first years ago? Forgetting which one.
I think it was Hicks.
Okay, yeah, that's why I thought. Then Starkel came over, and I think people were surprised. They just assumed Hicks would be the guy. Now that's a different situation than what KJ is. KJ is clearly starting quarterback, but maybe he's thinking about the year after. I don't know, but yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. Richard, last thing before we let you go, we've talked a lot of Treylon Burks, but some other guys, Monteric Brown, John Ridgway, and some others. Who are you expecting in the next couple days to be drafted outside of the Warren wide receiver?
Yeah, I think Ridgway goes in the second day, or evidently he's been graded around 3-5 round guy. Monteric, evidently, what I heard one agent said, that he'd be a late rounder or a free agent guy. So, but really, Ridgway, off the top of my head, would probably be the only one that I feel like that with certainty is going to get drafted. Cunningham supposedly didn't perform that well, for scouts. So that's just my little 2 cents.
All right, we'll leave it there. Richard, as always, man, we appreciate your time this morning. We'll do it again next week, and maybe we can figure out where Treylon's going to be, and maybe some other Razorbacks that might sign some free agent deals as well.
Sounds good, buddy. Appreciate you. See you, Ty.
All right, great stuff from Richard Davenport, as always. I need to get back and and ask him some food questions. We haven't done that in a while, and I'm sure that's something that me and Richard can find ourselves in at some point throughout the morning. We'll talk some more NFL draft coming up here on the Morning Rush. We mentioned a couple things during our Hog update that we'll get back to, and our SEC update coming up as well this hour. Are you excited for tonight? Are you going to watch all of it, or how's that going to work for you?
I'm going to watch as much of it as I can up until 9:30 when bedtime hits.
Okay, that's a good way to. It's a good way to look at it. I will probably stay up a little later, 9:30, like you're saying as usual. But I'm hoping Treylon gets drafted early so we can go to, because that's the
what time does the draft start? 7?
7.
See, and that's the thing, especially with the first round. It takes forever and ever and
Is it
ever.
10 minutes or 5 minutes?
I think it's 10.
Oh. Ugh.
And if it's 5, it feels like 25 between picks. And that's the thing with the draft. And I get you need to play commercials. You got to have the analysis, the breakdowns, and everything like that. But I don't think we really need as much time as they put into it in the first round. Because legitimately speaking, you have 7 rounds of the draft. You take up one night for round 1. It's understandable. You got people there. People want to walk across the stage, shake the commissioner's hand, take their picture with the jersey, do the whole 9 yards. Day 2, you got the second and third round. Okay, we speed it up a little bit. Still some of the guys that you possibly can see make an impact next year. And then you're telling me that we can just blow through 4 rounds in one day? Like, we've got to be able to figure this out, spread it out a little bit more evenly to where, and I get it that the lesser rounds is just kind of a crapshoot. We have a guy on the board, he's still there, let's take him. Or this guy said something good about that guy, we'll let the intern that gets coffee make a pick, type of stuff. But we don't need it to be literally a 4-hour television production. To where the fact when I go to bed at 9:30, 2.5 hours in, there's a possibility they're only around pick number 20. Like that's just way too long.
It's like a Heisman Trophy presentation where it's an hour and you don't find out who the winner is until 5 minutes before it's over. You're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and you don't want to mistime it where you hop on too late because you want to see.
Because you want to see the announcement.
Yeah, you want to see the announcement. Make sure you have that. We'll talk more NFL draft coming up, and again, we'll retouch on these real quick. The Brady Tiger news that he's one of the finalists for the Stopper. It's a Stopper of the Year award. I think Cops won that last year, if I remember that right. Trying to get Heather Dinich on tomorrow. She has Arkansas as a college football playoff sleeper, which I thought was pretty cool. We were talking about college football scenarios within Arkansas. If you start out 4-0, what it would look like if you played Alabama as a top 10 team. The former Heisman Trophy winner coming back into town. That would be quite an entertaining game, I would think, if those scenarios matched up where Arkansas was able to beat A&M and South Carolina and Missouri State and Cincinnati. Not in that order, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, Drew, apparently it's National Kiss Your Mate Day. So I'd ask you this question. Are you Carolina PDA people, or do y'all stay away from that?
We are not PDA people.
Okay.
We are...
Never?
I mean, a kiss, like a peck or two, is fine in public. We are not,
sit on the same side of the booth.
Oh, goodness gracious. Heck
Tommy
no.
hates that.
That is one of our biggest pet peeves when we're out. Like, we make fun of same side of the booth people. I'm sorry. If you are same side of the booth people, you have a problem. It is okay to be more than 3 feet away from your partner. Just sit across the table and have a face-to-face conversation. Right? I hate same side of the booth people. They drive me absolutely insane.
What about hand holding? Do you guys do that in public?
Yeah, we'll hold hands. We hold hands. We'll have a peck or two at the bar, like if I'm getting up or something, and give her a little kiss, something like that. But as far as making other people uncomfortable, we're not those people, and it does make people uncomfortable. Okay. Don't think that you making out in the bar with your wife, girlfriend, or a lady you met 5 minutes ago isn't weird. It wasn't in college. I can admit it. In college, it wasn't weird. Now that if you're over the age of 24.
No, it's above 30.
No, it's still weird. Like,
At a bar? You're going to put a damper on my morning this morning.
I mean, it's still a little weird, man. Like, go to the park. Like, you don't need
Go to the park.
I mean, not the park. Go to the parking lot. Like, be by the bathrooms or something. Don't just be sitting, like, especially, like, in a big group of people.
So you're not a fan of bar makeouts?
I mean, I was as a single man in college, but
now that you're dating someone,
now that I'm engaged, and honestly, for probably the last 4 or 5 years, I'd say I hit about the age of 23, 24, and I was like, all right, this isn't cool. Like, I need to respect other people's space and not invite them into semi-bedroom activities here.
B in Clarksville said, my wife is a great kisser. JT in Hot Springs and Jesse in Mountain Hope both reply the same side of the booth people are the same ones with joint Facebook accounts.
That is true.
Good responses from
the
all.
only time that same side of the boothers is okay is if you're over the age of 75. Old people doing it, that's adorable.
It's cute.
Adorable.
Okay.
You're 16 on like your third, fourth date thinking you've fallen in love. Grow up. Have a normal face-to-face conversation. You don't need to be like that. And if you're in your 20s or 30s, or by golly, you've been married for 20 years in your 40s, y'all are disgusting.
No. I like B's take about. I hope his wife's listening that he gives her the compliment of being a good kisser on that.
Not a good kisser, a great kisser.
A great kisser. I apologize.
Don't sell Miss BE short.
I'll say this: the bar makeout stuff doesn't bother me. One, because I've done it post grad. Two, it's in a situation where it's like, they're at a bar, it's 11 or 12 at night, whatever.
Okay.
Now,
I will clarify. Post midnight, anything goes.
Okay.
Anything goes post midnight.
The last thing I'll say about this is when I've been to a Waffle House type of place. It's not Waffle House. I can't think of what it's called, but it was 7:30 in the morning, and I was watching same side of the booth make out on a Friday after I'd gone out the night before. That's a little early. It's like you said, the timing also is an issue on that, and there's certain times you do it.
Old people, adorable. Anyone under the age of 75, have a face-to-face conversation. Don't be those people.
Not about it. Hey, we are brought to you this morning by Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Maybe the hailstorm caused damage on one of your recent vehicles. Well, the good thing is Michael Littleton and his family and his team at Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair can help you out. They've been doing it for over 30 years here in the community, and that's why that's a name that you can trust. So in hailstorms and situations like this, they are the go-to. When your insurance company says, hey, you need to go here, you need to go here, no, you tell them you're going to Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Don't let them tell you where you're going. Tell them you're going to Littleton's. That's Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Stay local, stay with the best, stay with the name you know, Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. When we come back, we're going to talk some more NFL draft, not just guys on Arkansas, but guys in the SEC, guys you watched where they could end up.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
This is Governor Asa Hutchinson, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
At Clay Maxey Auto Group, making the relationship has been what we've always been about. Can't control the market, but we can control who we are and how we act every day. And we're just going to be really good at being us. It's always been more than just selling cars or servicing them. It's a people business. We're here to take care of the customer. To me, it's important that it's about the relationship, not the transaction. Come visit us today at Clay Maxey Auto Group.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria now has a new small crustless pizza for all of those on keto diets. It's a part of their lunch specials Monday through Saturday from 11 to 2 for only $10. You can get a small crustless pizza, side salad and drink, or a slice, chef salad and drink, or an 8-inch small pizza, side salad and drink, each for only $10. Call Papa's Pub at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Save thousands during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Over 350 new and pre-owned vehicles were damaged during the recent storm, and now over $1 million in discounts will be passed on to Harry Robinson's customers. Some of the damage is really minor, but the savings are severe. Plus, there are still lots of vehicles that were not damaged in stock. Save thousands on your next vehicle during the storm damage sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
In today's world, slow internet equals a bad day. If you're in a rural area, you've experienced this way too often. Online meetings, schoolwork, enjoying family movie night, it's downright impossible. The solution? Fast fiber internet from Wave Rural Connect. Service is available near Uniontown, Van Buren, Pecola, Cass, Ozone, Altus, and many other areas. Check to see if it's available for you at waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, Fort Smith. I'm Kelly Proctor-Pierce, and I'm running for State Senate District 27. How are you doing? Are you living the life you thought you would be? Or are you living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to put gas in your car? Well, if this is you, I am your candidate. My opponent voted for all those taxes that are making it hard for you to make ends meet. The gas tax, the soda and candy tax, the internet tax. If you are over all the taxes, then vote for me, Kelly Proctor-Pierce, on May 24th. Together, we can secure a brighter future for Fort Smith.
Paid for by Kelly Proctor-Pierce for State Senate.
Whether you're moving 50 feet or 500 miles, it's never a fun thing to do. So call the professionals. If you must make a move cross-town or cross-country, you want Move Mart at 701 Navy Road in Fort Smith. Move Mart represents Whedon Van Lines. Get free estimates, full-service packing, and vaulted storage with Move Mart. Call 646-MOVE or go online to MoveMartInc.net. Servicing the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas, Move Mart, let them do the heavy lifting.
Crush your hunger at TGI Fridays in Fort Smith with the new Chicken Slammers. TGI Fridays Chicken Slammers are chicken fingers tossed in our favorite sauces and tucked into a warm mini New England roll. Served with your favorite sides. Choose your flavor, Italian, buffalo, or whiskey glazed. And for dessert, try the new Peanut Butter Fudge Obsession. Oreo cookie crust, peanut butter fudge and M&Ms topped with vanilla bean ice cream and more. And don't forget it's happy hour all day every day at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith at I-540 and Rogers. Order online at Fridays.com.
Nobody has more pre-owned trucks than Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford. Work trucks, heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks, single cab, extended cab, and four-wheel drive crew cab trucks. Fords, Chevys, GMCs, Dodge, Ram, and Nissans. And with historic low interest rates, no payments for 90 days, and the most for your trade, Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford is the only place to buy your next truck. Harry Robinson's Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Leach drives one to deep left field. He's hit his second home run of the game. My gosh. I'd like what he's eating for breakfast tomorrow.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Let's talk some NFL draft here on the Morning Rush. Feel free to jump in, 877-377-6963 in just a sec. Now, you've heard about Williams Tractor for a number of different years on these airwaves. Williams Tractor is now WT Equipment in their new location in Springdale on the east side of Interstate 49 between the Don Tyson and Johnson exits. They're an authorized New Holland agricultural dealership in Northwest Arkansas, Southeastern Missouri, and Northeast Oklahoma. They carry a large selection of new and pre-owned inventory, and they're ready. If you're ready to invest in a new tractor or other agricultural equipment, please stop by WT Equipment in Springdale and check them out. And you can always look at them online, WTEquip.com. That's WTEquip.com. Arkansas fans, you're going to be tuning in to Treylon Burks tonight, which is fine. He's going to go first round unless something crazy happens. But there's some other notable guys. Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, Evan Neal out of Alabama. One of the guys you don't have to play next year will be Ahmad Gardner of Cincinnati. He would have come in if he had an extra year of eligibility. One of the guys you did play, Matt Corral of Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Derek Steenley of LSU. Those are some of the more notable guys that are not only that you play. Jamison Williams, Alabama, Nakobe Dean out of Georgia, Trayvon Walker out of Georgia, Jordan Davis as well. Your Ravens, we talked about this earlier with Jordan Davis. What else are you looking forward to about tonight itself and just the NFL draft overall?
Well, the draft itself, it is a production. It's I know I just complained about it taking too long, but I do actually really do like the analysis and the stories and learning about these guys that are potential, future Pro Bowlers or future stars of the National Football League. I do enjoy listening to that. I like the trades. I like the chaos. I love the Jets fans that hate every single pick that they've ever made, or they're
terrible,
or they think that they're going to the Super Bowl because they drafted insert quarterback
Zach
here.
Wilson.
So the things like that, I do enjoy the pageantry of it. Now, I don't know if I enjoyed enough that I would want to personally go to the draft. I know we've talked about it a little bit this week, that it'll be in Kansas City next year, and it just seems like way too much of a production to be there in person. I'd much rather be there at home. As far as Ravens go, I think Jordan Davis would be a great fit, but I think there's multiple different routes that the Ravens can take at this first round draft pick. And if you look at a lot of different mocks, they've got different guys there. I think that obviously adding a defensive lineman like Jordan Davis would be absolutely huge to secure that front line of the defense. I think that drafting an offensive lineman wouldn't be a terrible idea to give, a guy like Lamar Jackson a little bit more coverage and a little bit more time in the pocket. And then, best available at that point. I mean, realistically, what do you need and who's the best available guy there? And one guy that I'm excited about and excited to see at the next level, because I have literally watched this kid from high school, is Nakobe Dean. He's out of Horn Lake, Mississippi, which is just south of Memphis. I did a few of his playoff games his senior season, and let me tell you something. He is a freak athlete. I knew from day one, this first second I saw him take a snap on the offensive side as a fullback and blow up a hole, to then do it on the defensive side later in that game and blow it up. I knew this guy was going to be something special. He had that it factor, and it's one of those things yes, you can see the talent, but there's that extra thing you can never really put your finger on, but he had it, and he's going to be an exciting, great player at the next level. Obviously a great linebacker at the University of Georgia. He's going to be somebody that I'm definitely keeping a close eye on, not just tonight, but through the next few years.
One of the things I really enjoy when Roger Goodell gets up on stage and said there's been a trade, and you're just a million things go through your mind, and he announces it, and you're blown away. Well, this team won the trade, or this team won the trade, or the lead up to it, the Baker Mayfield stuff heading tonight. What kind of trade B is going to use? The Jordan Love stuff with the Green Bay Packers. He's still going to be comped as one of the better quarterbacks if he was drafted this year. There's just so much leading up to tonight. Or your favorite player from your college team, i.e. Treylon Burks. Where is he going to end up? That is the storyline that Arkansas fans are going to continuously ask themselves, and we've asked it to Tom and to Davis, Mattek this morning, just about the expectation of where those individuals end up. And it's a great moment for the kids and their family. Treylon's going to be with his family back there in Warren. I know they're going to be, I think they're in Warren. I don't know if they're in Fayetteville. I think they're in Warren, but I know he's going to be home here in Arkansas. The celebration that they'll get to have when they hear his name. And I really hope it's not a Aaron Rodgers situation or something like that where he keeps dropping and dropping. Or I think Geno fell out of the first round, if I remember that right. For Treylon's sake, I hope he's drafted in the first round. And you just got to go watch the film, man. Forget the cone drills. Forget the 40 time. Forget the measure. Oh, he has the measurables. Remember the measurables. Don't forget those. But the guy's just a gamer. And some guys, if you watch college football, if you watch high school football, if you watch the NFL, some guys are really fast without pads. And some of them, even with those pads on, they're still gamers. Treylon's still really fast. We've got to remember he's 6'2", 6'3", 225, and he's still able to get up and down, get up and down. The guy is an unbelievable talent. He's a great ambassador for not just the city of Warren, as Clay talked about in hour number one, but the entire state of Arkansas. That's what's encouraging is the guy that's going to be on the front of every Arkansas mind tonight. He's a guy that you as a father or mother or grandpa or grandma can say, you should grow up to be like this young man, because he has been nothing but a good pro for the University of Arkansas, the state itself, and Sam Pittman in this football program. All right, we're going to get into our SEC update coming up. Stay with us. This is the Morning Rush.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
This is former Razorback Chris Gregg, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Jason Aldean says there's only two means of salvation around here that seem to work: whiskey or the Bible, shot glass or revival. He doesn't want to be stuck in these two ruts. He needs something in between to fulfill his dreams. Hebrews 7:25 says, Jesus is able to save completely those who draw near to God through him. Don't trust your spiritual strut or placing your butt in a church pew or bar stool, because all three will lie to you. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Our partners at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. To receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Do you like to run? Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center needs runners and sponsors for the Baby Steps 5K and Fun Run. The race is June 11th and registration ends June the 9th. $25 entry fee or call 452-2260 to find out how you can participate for free. Baby Steps 5K and Fun Run, June 11th. Details on Facebook or text D1972 to 49514. Saving lives one baby step at a time.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights, we switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Heath Roberts, right here in the River Valley, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Heath and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Heath Roberts, it's easy to switch and save. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Who's ready to spring clean and save some green? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I'm on a mission to help you cash in when you clean out your garage. So stop making payments on a car you're not happy with, because right now you could clean up in a Rath Road Ready vehicle, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Mattek Car Care Center, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. It's out with the old and in with the new, only during my Spring Clean and Save Some Green sales event. So dust off that old ride and trade up when you bring it in today, and possibly lower your monthly payment in the process. Keeping the car you have? Keep it running this spring with a free inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Mattek Car Care Center. But hurry, this deal's done once 86 people make a clean getaway in a nicer, newer car. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Mattek Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to AshleyAir.com to request service today.
The Arizona Cardinals have picked up Kyler Murray's 5th-year option of $29 million. Now, there's been some controversy. There's been some questions about him in the offseason from both parties. And I know the former Texas A&M and Oklahoma quarterback, he has something that he wants to be able to prove this year, that he can get his team to a Super Bowl. We'll have to wait and see what happens. What are your thoughts on the Kyler Murray stuff that has kind of been dealt with this offseason with him, Cliff, and the rest of the Arizona Cardinals ownership?
I don't know. It just feels like a lot of extra drama that doesn't need to be there. And if you are Arizona, you can. I understand the frustration. I mean, you feel like you have all the pieces there on both sides of the ball that it would be able to get the job done and make a deeper run in the playoffs than what they've been able to do these last few years. But the whole and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, especially in today's world with social media. The unfollowing on Instagram, the unfollowing on Twitter, because I believe Kyler Murray did the same thing where he unfollowed the Cardinals and Coach McDreamy, Cliff Kingsbury, off of Instagram and Twitter, and the national media had a fit. Oh my gosh, what does this mean? He unfollowed them on Twitter. Oh no, the world must be crashing and burning. Like, can we not have take a deep dive into every single social media move that these guys do? I don't care if they're doing it for a reason or not. I really don't care that Kyler Murray unfollowed the Cardinals on Twitter. I really don't care what Odell Beckham Jr. tweeted. I really just I just don't care. I rarely care what people that I love and care about have to say on social media, let alone some stranger pro athlete. Do we have to do the deep dive every single time? And that's the off-season stuff that gets to me. I'm just like, I just don't care.
Is your fiance a big social media person? Will she be posting?
Neither of us are big social media people.
I have friends that, and Tommy likes to joke with me that I post too much on Twitter. I really don't post as much as I used to, and on Instagram and on Facebook. That's just, I've found as I've gotten older, it's a waste of time relative to other things I could be doing and going on with my life. But some Morning Rush listeners, you guys probably know that person or two. It's not just a girl thing. There's some guys that are just as bad at it, about just posting stuff all the time, 24/7, up, down, and it's just like, man, like surely you've got something better to do. But
see, I'm one of those people, and me and Caroline are both those people that we forget to take pictures a lot because we like to live in the moment. You know, when we go do stuff, we like to be there together and not worry about posting stuff on social media, to where literally I did post on Twitter and Instagram of us getting engaged. That's a big moment that you do want to share.
Yeah.
We've been dating for 14, 15 months, and that's the third picture on my Instagram I posted of her. I think she's posted on her Instagram of me 3 times as well. Like, we're just not those types of people. But and ultimately, I don't know about you, but when I see people constantly posting how great their life is on Instagram or Twitter, or constantly giving us life updates, or you know, all these vacation photos, to me it's almost sad. It's like, bro, I'd rather live your life in real life and not through a screen.
You'd rather be
the happiest people on social media are normally the saddest people in real life.
You'd rather be having a good time than telling people you're having a good time.
Exactly.
That's the philosophy that the generation after, what is it, Generation Z?
Z, yeah, is what they are now.
Yeah, I hope the generation following Generation Z does that, but I feel like it's in the wrong direction when that comes. Jameson Williams told a reporter as of late, he works for NBC, that it looks like the Eagles want to draft him. That would be a combination of Jameson Williams and Devontae Smith, plus Jalen Hurts, a couple Alabama names there, which I think would be intriguing. We'll have to see what the Eagles end up doing. I know y'all are intrigued. Hey, what are the Cowboys going to do? What are the Chiefs going to do? What are the Packers going to do? What are the different teams kind of close to here going to do? We'll have to wait and see tonight. Just a reminder, we'll have that for you here on ESPN Arkansas. Some SEC guys to watch out for tonight. We listed a bunch of them. Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, who Drew got a chance to watch in high school, Treylon Burks, Jameson Williams, Matt Corral. Those are some of the big names that you want to keep an eye on. That's going to do it for your SEC update. It is brought to you by Ashley Air. Warmer weather, it's coming, and you need to make sure that your air conditioning unit is ready with a $69 spring tune-up special. They're going to send out their trained technicians to check your system and make sure that your cooling unit is working efficiently before these hot and humid days get here. It's a part of their 100 satisfaction guarantee from Ashley Air. On game day, call the Hogs. When your AC needs repaired, call Ashley Air. Get your $69 spring tune-up now. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your tune-up. That's AshleyAir.com, proud sponsors of Razorbacks Athletics. Now, how's your workout regimen going? Played basketball last night.
Yeah. I've been
you
going
slept
on
like a baby is what you said.
Oh, yeah. I think I got out of the shower, fell asleep before my head hit the pillow. So it's been going well. Been walking, doing the power. I don't want to say power walking or really brisk, because when I think of power walking, I think of, women. And not to say that walking's only for women. But, that real hip swing power walking.
Me too'd on a Thursday.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm sorry. Don't want to do that. But that's basically what I'm doing. I've been power walking for an hour Monday and Tuesday, played basketball yesterday, and I believe I'll go on another power walk. I've been thinking about, not really wanting, thinking about trying to start to do ab workouts. But it just sounds so hard. Like, I don't know if I could do. I know I could do one. I don't know if I could do 10 crunches right now. 10? I know I can do one push-up. I don't know if I can do 10 push-ups.
Really?
Really. I honestly don't know. It's been so long since I've been in that workout type of mode. It's been since, high school, and then I kept it going after rehab of my shoulder surgery for the second time freshman year of college. And then I realized, well, baseball's passed me by. I'm not getting any younger. I'm never gonna play again at an actual competitive level. What's the point? And then I kind of gave up on physical fitness. I switched to Budweiser, did a lot more unhealthy things, and just kind of let the ball roll where it may. And now that I'm getting married and want to look good in pictures, because as my future father-in-law says, the only two things you leave the wedding with is the person you married and the pictures from the wedding. So, and I want to look good in those pictures because there's just something about, looking good on your wedding day, right? And now that I'm trying to get back into it.
Tommy's philosophy, though, is interesting on Monday, saying you put on 20 pounds so you can be like, man, I've lost so much weight since my wedding day.
Well, see, here's the thing. My dad always loves to point out that I weigh more at my current age than he weighed when he was his age. Or by the time I hit 200 pounds, he's like, I didn't hit 200 pounds until after you and your older brother and you were born, in which he would have been like 32, 33, the type of thing. So like, I kind of want to get back down there just so my dad can kind of hush my dad up about my weight.
That would, I think that would.
And the fiance apparently wants me to live long and a healthy life. Like, she wants me to be around for a while. Like,
might have to cut something out.
I don't get that, but
cut something else out too if you wanna do that. But I just think it's entertaining because as soon as you got here, I'm just glad we're playing basketball together and stuff and doing.
But you've noticed over the last few weeks, my endurance at basketball has gotten a lot better. You cannot say it has not. Yeah. I played all 5 games last night. I did not. 1, I couldn't sit out because we only had 10. But 2, I was not as bad week 1 of when I started playing with y'all last summer.
How many? We've got the Top Golf media thing next week. How many Arkansas fans? Because I think ours is on the 4th, and then the rest of the fans, it's the next day or the day after, whatever it is. How many fans do you think make their way to Donald W. again and do the Top Golf next week?
Oh, I'm thinking it's probably going to sell out. Whatever allotment of tickets or spots that they have, I think it's going to.
Might be some corporations that buy some.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's going to be a big event. I know that Top Golf does this in San Diego every year, and it always looks really cool the way that they have it set up at Petco Park out in San Diego, California. So I definitely encourage everybody that can get a spot to get a spot. And plus, Top Golf is just fun. I mean, I know people in Northwest Arkansas obviously know that with the Top Golf in Rogers. Or is it Bentonville? Where is the Top Golf in Northwest
Rogers?
Rogers.
Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Pinnacle area.
So, obviously, it's fun. But what's cooler than doing Top Golf in a football stadium? I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm excited for Wednesday.
I think it should be fun. Titus in Witcherville says that he can do 50 push-ups and 50 sit-ups now.
Cool, big man.
Drew. I've advocated for a while that we should have a morning rush versus halftime versus Ruskin and Zach. Not necessarily.
Oh, we'd kill Ruskin and Zach.
Not necessarily fitness level. You'd be with Phil. You're saying you and Phil would kill Ruskin and Zach? Depends on what it was.
Depending on what it is. I don't know. Well, Phil will do like CrossFit every now and then. He was doing that for like a week or two a couple months ago, I remember. So I feel like Phil kind of reminds me of he's wiry, right? He's not built, but he's got that wiry strength.
Once Phil's schedule quiets down a little bit, maybe we find a time in July or early August where we do something.
You can ask him yourself today. He'll be in Barling. He's doing the show live and in person today.
Let's go. A reason for me to maybe stick around for a little bit before going to leaving the station or whatever before I come back. But yeah, that'll be something we might have to talk to Tommy about doing, and maybe our listeners would have some.
Give me a month or two. Let me get my power walking in.
Your power walking in.
My hips just go swaying back and forth.
Being Clarksville reminds us that Zach did kick a 40-yard field goal, so that would he would probably win that portion of the I think I can kick. I used to be able to kick 35s consistently, but I haven't gone out to a practice field or to a football field in general and tried my foot.
He beat me at that. My feet don't work.
Your feet don't work?
Nah, I was never good at soccer. Even as like a kid, when that's all you could play before you do football and stuff. Yeah, feet don't do what I tell them.
This wasn't you.
Nah.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for this Recruiting Thursday edition of the Morning Rush. We had on Davis Mattek of Sports Grid talking NFL draft. Tom Murphy talked to us a little bit about Treylon Burks and kind of good fit for him. And then Richard Davenport kind of shared some old insight on Burks and what the NCAA could look like in new terms of recruiting and stuff. All that you're going to find in our Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. For Drew Barrett, I'm Ty Richardson. Tommy back with us tomorrow. Stay tuned for that NFL draft tonight right here.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area.